It's your podcast.
Welcome back. It's our podcast. Fuck.
No, I'm a guest that is on every episode.
You're a recurring guest every week.
Every week, recurring guest.
Welcome back to another episode of the Real Duo Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Wade.
I'm another host. That's not Wade. Devin. All right.
Yeah. Boom. Your name. It says your name on the thing.
It does, but that's an alias. My real name is undisclosed.
Your real name is Kevin.
Kevin. Goddamn. Because I am Kevin Feige. Nobody knows, but
I am Kevin Feige. That's like your Avengers Endgame moment, where I am Iron Man. I am Kevin Feige, and then you snap your fingers, and the universe ends.
That's why you've never seen me snap. Can't do it.
Exactly.
Can't do it. Wade, we got a bunch of crap to talk about.
Fucking shit. What have you been watching the last couple weeks?
I've been on a Spider-Man tear recently. So I watched the entire 2 seasons of Spectacular Spider-Man because I bought it. It's pretty freaking good. Yeah, it's pretty freaking good. I'm surprised that it just ends. I guess it got canceled. I don't remember. It was back in 2009.
I think it might have.
But it just kind of
seasons. I thought that got 3 seasons.
No, it's only 2 seasons.
That sucks because I remember Spectacular Spider-Man being really good.
It was really good. That's why I bought it to watch it. I was like, all right, let's see. I want to see how good this is. So I watched that. It was pretty good especially for like I thought it was gonna be like a kid show, but it's not. It's kind of it takes itself seriously and tries. But I've been watching that. And then I bought the Miles Morales game. I've been playing that.
Ooh, shit! Is that good at all?
It's really good, especially because it feels like it's a different. It doesn't feel like Spider-Man again because you have completely different like fighting styles and stuff. So it does feel like a different game. My only complaint is one. I don't know many Miles Morales villains because he's relatively new in the comic book world, and they didn't use any of them that I know. Like not that I know. They use a lot of Spider-Man villains, not Miles Morales villains. So I was kind of like, like whatever, I guess. But like I wanted to see more different things I haven't seen. I was complaining about that, and then it's too short. It feels like it's more of a DLC than a full game. But,
I mean, I think that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be kind of like an expansion, sort of, to the first one. I don't think it was meant to be like a full like game on its own. I think it was supposed to be like an in-between type of thing.
I honestly think you could beat the story in like 10 hours. Like,
is the story good?
Yeah, like it's decent, I think.
Because that was my main problem with the first Spider-Man game, where I was like, the story was garbage.
I like the first Spider-Man game story.
Everyone did. Everyone was like, "This is the greatest Spider-Man thing ever," and I'm like, "This is dumb." Like, I like the game. I think the game's fun, but that story was bad.
I liked it. I like the first Spider-Man game. I like the Miles Morales.
I like the first game too. I just said I like the first game.
No, you didn't. You said that it wasn't very good.
The story was bad. I like the game as a game.
But I like the setting and all that because it's like during Christmas, so like New York's all wintry and stuff.
Fuck,
so.
Man. I bet that's so cool. I love like when Arkham Origins did that with Batman. I'm like, fuck, man. Batman works amazing in the snow.
It is. And then they re-upped the stealth missions and stuff because you can turn invisible as Miles, so they did some more of that stuff. And he's got like the bioelectricity powers and stuff, so he's pretty OP. And they the way they got rid of Spider-Man in this game to be like, all right, let's let Miles do his own thing. Spider-Man went on vacation, so like that's how they got rid of him.
Whatever.
He went on vacation for a week, and he's like, Miles, you're in charge. And he calls him every now and then through the game. And he's like, what the fuck is happening? Like I see on the news that like stuff is exploding.
What the fuck are you doing?
Also, his suit looks amazing. Love his suit.
That suit looks really cool. Is there a DLC for the Spider-Verse suit?
That's not a DLC. That's just part of the game.
Oh, fucking hell. Like, does it have like the hood and everything on it?
There's no jacket. He's just the normal animated one, but there is a suit that is his game suit, but with the jacket and the hood. So,
oh shit.
It's not the Spider-Verse one, but it's the game one with the. He's also got a couple suits with backpacks on. Like there's a backpack suit with like he's got a cat in his backpack. I don't know if there's a lot of cats in this game, and I'm like, is Miles Morales a big cat fan or something? Like
what? I don't fucking remember Miles ever having anything to do with cats.
Well, he has a cat named Spider-Man in his
I also
backpack.
haven't read a Miles Morales comic in like a decade. So.
I mean, he's only like 15 years old? Like he's relatively
he's about like 10, 15 years old.
He's relatively new in the comics. But
I remember when Miles Morales got announced and everybody fucking hated him because he was black.
Yeah. Now he's cool. Everybody likes
now
him.
Everyone's like, fucking A. Yeah, Miles is awesome.
There's 3 villains, like boss battles. One of them's Rhino. One of them's the Prowler, which everybody figured Prowler would be in there. And then the main villain is the Tinkerer. So those are the
3.
So
not super interesting villains.
No, not really. The only reason the Tinkerer is interesting is because they switched it up. The Tinkerer is Miles's best friend from school. So that's
shit.
That's the twist. It's not really a twist. They show it in like the first 10 minutes of the game.
So they did basically what they did with Dr. Octopus in the first game, where it's like, oh, it's a big twist that he turned bad, but they like tell you in the first 10 minutes that like he's gonna be Dr. Octopus.
She's bad throughout the whole game. She doesn't like turn bad at the very end. She's the main villain.
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah, it's a woman.
Oh shit. Okay.
That's what threw me for a loop at first, because you didn't know who Tinkerer was in the very beginning. I'm like, oh, it's a girl. I'm like, that's different. And then they like showed her face. I'm like, oh, it's the girl from earlier. It's his best friend or whatever. So it's neat. Also, there's no Mary Jane stealth missions and crap like that. That's
good
because that game was awesome.
Those were dumb.
Those were dumb. And you got the guy in the chair, like Ned. You got your boy. You got your boy Genki. That's his name.
Hey, Genki.
Yeah.
He's got Ned was based on.
He's your tech guy.
Fucking
through the game. And J. Jonah Jameson's still in it. He still does his podcast or whatever. So
those podcasts were fucking hilarious. Because he was just like screaming about bullshit.
Yeah, and they're still in it, still in the game.
That's awesome.
But still, it just feels short. Like I feel like I beat it in like a weekend, and I was like, all right, it was good, but like,
was it $60 or was it like?
I think I paid $40 for it. So
that's fair.
And you get the PS4 and the PS5 edition when you buy it. So
shit, dog.
My poor PlayStation 4 sounds like a freaking airplane playing that game.
I know. Last time I was over there and I was playing GTA, I was like, what the fuck is that noise? And then I saw it and I was like, your PlayStation is like about to blow up.
It's like one of the first ones that came out. It's old. It's like 10 years old. Hey, it still runs Miles Morales pretty well though. So,
shit.
Pretty good. I liked it, but yeah, that's what I've been up to the past like month.
Just Spider-Man all the time.
Spider-Man. I've been watching. Also, I forgot. I've been watching the '90s Spider-Man show. So there's that too on Disney Plus.
Is that any good or is that like dated?
It's definitely dated because it's a '90s show, but it's still good.
But is it like good and entertaining?
Yeah. It's not. It definitely doesn't feel like a '90s show because this was around the time when they were like, all right, let's not do like bottle episodes. Let's kind of like connect things. So this was right around that time when they started doing that. So. I think X-Men animated show was the first time they're like let's like connect the episodes. Let's not just make stupid one-off episodes. So
yeah,
it's pretty good. It's as good as I remember it being. It's no spectacular Spider-Man, but it's pretty good. It's probably the second.
It's been a while since I've seen the '90s Spider-Man show. I don't remember a whole lot about it.
It's pretty long. It's 4 seasons. So.
Holy Jesus!
Yeah. So.
That's interesting.
What have you been watching this past month?
I've been watching surprisingly a lot of TV the last couple weeks. Doom Patrol season 3 started.
We've got them, boys. We changed them.
Sure, it didn't really make me like excited to watch TV now, but Doom Patrol season 3 has started. We're 4 episodes in, and it's still really good. Everybody should watch Doom Patrol so it doesn't get fucking canceled. I also watched the new iCarly reboot.
Oh my gosh.
And it was so bad.
Yeah, Dylan watched it and he's been like, yeah, it's not good, but I gotta finish it.
It like fuck, man. Like it has a genius like premise that they just totally don't even do anything with. Where it's like, and it could have actually like been kind of relevant and like kind of self-aware if they talked about it, where it's like Carly trying to like come back to the web scene and like start her show back up and kind of like, you know, do a reboot of iCarly in a way. But they do that in the first episode and it's just like, hey, I'm back. And that's it. And then like she's just successful again on the thing. And I'm like, That's not. I thought that was like the premise of the show, was her trying to like that style of humor in that show isn't really like relevant anymore, and so she has to kind of like make the show itself kind of. She has to like make it a little bit more adult and try to figure out, like navigate the modern web landscape a little bit. Like that could have been kind of interesting, but they don't touch on that ever, and they rarely ever even like show the show like ever at all. So it's like, okay, that's a little weird. It's just kind of about Carly's life and her dumb friends.
I was gonna say, I heard it was more like a drama than anything. Now.
Yeah, it's trying to be Friends, but it's not Friends.
Because I heard they made it more adulty because they were like, oh, the people that watched us back then are adults now. So
I mean, a little bit. It's still kind of it feels like a Nickelodeon show where they just say like bitch every now and then. Like they will reference like, having sex and stuff like that, but it's not like they're not swearing left and right, and they're not saying like fuck and like blah, blah, blah. Like it still feels like a Nickelodeon show at the end of the day. Carly's new friend is a black bisexual female, and they have to let you know every goddamn episode that she's black and she's bisexual.
Yep.
Freddie is like a total loser who has like a black daughter.
I heard he still lives with his mom across the hall.
And he still lives with his mom because, of course, he's a fucking loser. Spencer's rich, which is honestly the funniest joke in the whole show, because he can just like throw out money for all their bullshit whenever like it's like, oh, how are we gonna pay rent? Oh, don't worry about it. Like whatever. Like he just became like a rich guy or whatever, which that's kind of funny. But it's a whatever dumb show.
What made you sit down and be like, I want to watch this?
I don't know. I was curious about it. I wanted to see like how adult it actually was going to be.
What about Sam? What did they do with Sam?
They kind of wrote her out of the show, saying that like she's living her dream being in like a motorcycle gang or whatever.
Oh, I thought they were going to for sure be like she's in prison or something. Like
no, because I think the original like Carly show ended with her on a motorcycle that Spencer gave her, and she's like driving off into the sunset or whatever.
Oh, I mean,
so I think they tried to kind of like tie it into that a little bit.
That's a possibility. I don't remember. It's been.
I don't know. I never saw the ending of iCarly, so I don't.
Are we just living in like 2008 now? Like we're bringing Tobey Maguire back, iCarly.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. We time traveled.
We are. We time traveled. It's weird. It's a weird thing we're doing.
So fucking weird.
Bringing the early 2000s back in the 2020s.
Yeah, it's a fucking nostalgia trip.
What else have you been watching?
Speaking of dumb internet shit made by people who don't know anything about the internet, I watched a movie called Mainstream starring Andrew Garfield.
Oh, you're getting your Spider-Man ready too. I see. All right.
Sure. This movie was awful.
Oh. Is this a newer movie? I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, this came out earlier this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's written like you can tell by watching this fucking thing that like it's made by people who have no idea how the fucking internet works. It's made by like a bunch of 50-year-old people who are just like, oh, kids like emojis and like memes and shit, right? Let's just put that in there. I'm like, that's not, no, stop.
Kids like it, so they put emojis in the movie?
Well, they have scenes where it's like, that weird internet like humor where it's just like random bullshit just for the sake of being random. They try to like emulate that in a way, and it doesn't quite work because it's like you're trying too hard to be random and weird because you don't know, like, because you're not actually like on the internet like doing it. So it feels like there's this big disconnect, and it's kind of, it has a mixed message because it's talking about like how influencers can like they're kind of like evil. But then it's also talking about how, people on the internet can also do good. Like it's got like this weird mixed message to it that I don't think it like it. I can tell it tried to say something, but it didn't quite know how to say it. And Andrew Garfield's great in it. He honestly gives a performance that's way too fucking good for this fucking movie. Like I wish this performance was in a better movie.
I mean, it's Andrew Garfield. Like he does a good job in most of the movies he's in.
Yeah. And like you could tell he was actually giving a shit. And there's this one awful, one of the worst shots I've ever seen in any movie, where the main girl, like something horrible just happens and she goes into the bathroom and she literally like pukes up emojis, and it's like the worst thing I've ever seen.
What? She pukes
it's
emojis?
Terrible. Yeah.
I'm
like, what is that supposed to mean? Like I don't.
Is this a sequel to the Emoji Movie?
It might as well be because they're both terrible.
I've never seen the Emoji Movie, but I've heard it's bad.
I've seen like I watched half of it and I couldn't finish it.
Did you get to the part where Sir Patrick Stewart makes a poop joke and you're like, nope, can't do this?
That's anymore. His whole thing.
I know because
it's his character. And it's like, all right, cool, whatever.
Whatever. What else? What else you been watching?
I watched Free Guy.
Oh my gosh, how was that?
The Ryan Reynolds film. I didn't really like it all that much. It's not something that like made
not
me
surprising.
Angry.
Wade doesn't like anything.
That's not true at all. I like a lot of stuff. It didn't make me like angry. I wasn't like pissed off. Like, what the fuck is this? I thought it was gonna be more like Ready Player One. I thought it was gonna be like very obnoxious and on the nose.
That makes sense because that's how you walked out of Ready Player One. You're like, what the fuck was this? Like,
I was upset that I fucking watched that movie. It's not that. It's definitely a little bit lighter on the references. There's really only one major scene where there's like real like major references where it is a little obnoxious, but I don't know, it's kind of fun. And there's some fun celebrity cameos and stuff in it. I just felt like the main plot of it wasn't super interesting. It's kind of a rom-com, but it like I just didn't care about the characters.
Really? That's what it's about. I thought it was more about like, oh, you're in a video game.
That's what it starts off as, and then it turns into a rom-com.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And like Taika Waititi is like the big evil bad guy of the movie, and he's terrible in it.
He didn't.
He's absolutely terrible in it. No, he didn't direct it. He's just in it.
He's just in it.
But he's fun. I don't know what the fuck. I feel so bad for Taika Waititi because I feel like now he's just gonna be a goofball in everything that he's ever in.
Ever since he put himself in Ragnarok, people are like, "All right, let's just make him."
Yeah, that's just what he's got to be now. And I'm like, that. I feel so bad for that guy because I can tell in this, he's like, he does not give a fuck in this movie. Like he does not care. And it just wasn't like, I don't know, it wasn't that funny. The action was kind of subpar. It was kind of just like, all right, whatever. The whole video game aspect, it didn't really even seem like it needed to be about video games because it didn't feel like a video game. It didn't feel like it was written by people who knew how video games worked.
It's always the fault.
Because it would have been fun because there's a moment where it's like, because Ryan Reynolds is playing an NPC, right? Mm-hmm. And he has like a life in this video game or whatever. And he, they do the routine thing and they have all the jokes where, they're just meant to, they're programs. They work on the cycle. But he also has like an apartment and he goes into like grocery stores and stuff. And it's like a video game, they wouldn't program an NPC's apartment to be this detailed. Like It would have been kind of clever if he went back to his apartment and it was just like a low res and it was just like a couple boxes. Like that would have been, I would have laughed my fucking ass off because that's how video games are.
And then when like the main character ran by, it became high res.
Yeah, something like that. Like that would have been fun. But no, it's just this massive, huge open world city. And like all the programs seem very self-aware and like sentient. That they're like programs and that they're like in this thing. And it's like, this is odd. And it just didn't feel like they knew how video games worked.
Yeah, that sounds like writers of movies. They've never played video games.
Yeah, which is odd because I feel like Ryan Reynolds has probably played some video games in his time.
Or he's at least known people that have played video games.
Or yeah.
At the least.
But I don't know. I've seen people say that it's great and whatever. And that's, it's not one of those movies that I'm like going to debate or like fight you on. Like if you like it, cool. But I didn't really.
No, Wade, you're going to get into massive debates about Free Guy. I know you are.
I hope not because I really don't care about this movie.
It's going to be your next Batman movie, just debating everybody on it.
Oh, shit.
Because the last Batman movie, Batman vs. Superman, you debate everybody on.
I do, because it's great.
And everybody else thinks the opposite.
And everybody's wrong, all right?
Everybody's wrong, but my opinion is correct.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it is.
Goddamn right. Anything else you want to mention that you watched? Or is that...
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. All right. Are we good? I finally know the order of the freaking podcast. Is it MC review time?
MC review. We got Marvel's What If.
We're just gonna finish it off because
we got quite a few.
Is it over? Is that the last?
No, I think there's one more.
Oh, all right.
I think there's 9 episodes, but the last episode felt like the end.
I don't know because I don't know the schedule, and I honestly don't care anymore.
I've stopped caring about this fucking show.
Did we talk about the Marvel Zombies episode?
No.
Okay,
we didn't talk about zombies or the Killmonger.
We'll start with that one then. I actually liked the Marvel Zombies episode. I think that was the best.
The zombies one I was actually surprised by. That one was actually pretty solid.
It was.
It wasn't great. It felt a little bit rushed, especially towards the end, but it was a lot better than I expected it to be.
Yeah. I don't know what made it better than the other episodes. It just seemed more interesting.
It was a little bit darker. It was a little bit like it took itself a little bit more seriously. Even up until Paul Rudd shows up, and then it just becomes a big dumb joke fest.
Paul Rudd's head just shows up.
Which is odd, but I was like, all right, this is fun. But there were too many jokes.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: the guy who voices Spider-Man in that also voices Spider-Man in Spectacular Spider-Man. So that's a fun fact.
Yeah. He did a great Tom Holland though. That sounded exactly like Tom Holland.
Yeah, he did. Sebastian Stan didn't do bad as Bucky this time compared to the first episode.
He did better. He still isn't great.
Paul Bettany just knocked it out of the park because he's used to just doing voice work.
He's also got a British accent, and that definitely helps.
Yeah. But he did voice work for the first the 3 Iron Man movies and Avengers movies.
That's true. I completely forgot about that. That's true. Yeah. He was a voice for the first decade of MCU.
Yeah, so he's got experience doing that.
Yeah.
And then it's everybody's been saying like, oh, the chick from The Walking Dead, she's a Koye or whatever, and she's killing zombies again. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe
it might have been. It might have been a fun little reference.
Maybe it was. I don't know. I like how they got the zombie virus. I thought that made a lot of sense in a What If episode. So like most of the What If episodes, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But the zombie one actually, it made sense in my brain. Like, oh yeah, they got a virus from the quantum realm or whatever.
They got a fucking goddamn Hank Pym.
Always
causing all this fucking trouble.
2 episodes where he's ruined the world.
Yeah.
Hank Pym is if he snaps, he's a bad dude apparently.
I mean, that's his
according to What If.
Yeah.
And it kind of ends kind of dark. It ends with just
I wish it didn't end on just like an image of Thanos as like a zombie. Like I wish there was a little bit more to it. Because it just kind of stops and it's like, all right, that's it.
I think it's implied that like Thanos just wins. Like,
okay,
it's
cool,
just
I want a little bit more.
It's just Spider-Man ahead and Black Panther going to fight Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones. I think Thanos is going to
they're going to lose. Like, you have Black Panther with 1 leg. You have bodiless Ant-Man, and then you have Spider-Man. Like, you're going to lose.
Yeah, you're going to lose. Sorry, bud. You're losing. But they just kind of ends. I was hoping that like this was one of the episodes where it's like, all right, let's get another episode of this. Like, I'd be okay with that.
I'd actually be cool with like another zombies episode.
Yeah. What was the next episode though? I don't even remember.
I think it was Killmonger.
Oh, that's right. I did not care about this episode at all.
I didn't either.
It basically was Iron Man 1, but without Iron Man.
I mean, it was Iron Man 1 and Black Panther, just with Killmonger.
Just Killmonger. Like they made Killmonger a douchebag, which I mean he kind of is in the Black Panther movie, but like he's just up and just murdering people.
But it really annoyed me because it was like Tony Stark is one of the smartest people in all of the MCU, and even if he didn't
trust this guy out of nowhere,
even if he didn't like become like Iron Man, he's still like a genius, and he wouldn't just look at this guy and go, this guy's got something else like going on. Like and he eventually does figure that out, which I actually liked. He does eventually just go, "Hey, Killmonger, what's all this shit?" Like that was fun, but it took him a little too long to get there. And then once he gets there, Killmonger stabs him in the shoulder, and he somehow dies from that.
Yeah,
which is odd.
Like his heart it's in his shoulder actually.
Yeah, and fucking, I don't understand. I have this theory that Marvel does not like Black Panther because they kill Black Panther in like 2 seconds in this.
Yeah, he shows up. And then Killmonger just kills him.
He does like a Sonic
taser
thing.
Yeah, the Sonic blaster thing. He kills him.
And I'm like, that kills Black Panther? Are you fucking what?
Vibranium, man. It's not as strong as you think.
Well, he had his mask off, but like, is Black Panther a goddamn moron? Like, put your fucking mask back on for one, and then get the fuck out of there. Like,
jump. Do something.
Jump. Because it's not like if it's not in your general area, you can just get out of it. So just jump around. You're supposed to be all black for a reason, so you can hide in the darkness and like in the shadows and stuff. He's just out in the open.
He has those vibranium like spear things. Just throw one. That would happen.
Yeah, do something. Like they made every goddamn time T'Challa is in the MCU somewhere, he's like a fucking idiot or like he's like a moron. And like the only time we ever saw like a legit T'Challa was in the second episode of What If, and he's not even like Black Panther in that episode, and that sucks.
Yeah, he's Star-Lord.
Yeah, so it's like fuck, man. I don't think Marvel likes Black Panther.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to make us dislike him because Chadwick Boseman is around him more. Like, all right, let's make people.
But that wasn't. This seemed like it was part of the plan, like always.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. Because Chadwick Boseman.
That would be very disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman.
It would.
Fuck Black Panther now that he's dead. How dare he die of cancer?
It would, and plus Chadwick Boseman still voices Black Panther in this episode. So it's just weird. Yeah, it is weird that they're just like, oh yeah, he's dead.
Because in the zombies, he's being used as fucking bait, and he's just like on a table. Like, what do you have against Black Panther? Like, come on.
I don't know.
It's bullshit.
I don't know. And yeah, they just up and kill War Machine and Tony Stark in this.
Yeah,
for some reason. And then it just like happens that like, does he take over the world at the end? I don't remember.
It's kind of implied that he's like. He's definitely on his way to taking over the world. He starts like a civil war between like Wakanda and like the rest of the world.
That's not. I don't know if he like. That's just a war.
Whatever.
Civil wars between your own people.
Sure. I mean, he did that in Black Panther.
He did that in Black Panther, but not in this movie.
It's the same thing. It's all mixing together. But it was implied, like, because at the end it was like Pepper and Shuri coming together and be like, "Oh, we can find a way to stop him somehow."
Whoa. Oh yeah, he gets the Black Panther stuff at the end. That's what it was. Yeah. Which I don't know why the King dude trusts him either. Like, T'Chaka, I don't know why he trusts him at all.
Because he has to in order for the episode to work.
I guess, but Shuri didn't trust him. So like, why does the King?
But Shuri's a dumb fucking 10-year-old, so fuck her.
She's apparently like one of the smartest people in the MCU besides Tony Stark. So
yeah, but fuck her because she's 10. So we just can't trust her.
I guess so. What's up with these What If episodes just ending on like cliffhangers? Just like, oh yeah.
I don't know. I think some of them they are doing like sequels to in the next season. I think they've said that. I don't know. I kind of wish like it would have been awesome if maybe What If instead of having 9 episodes that were like 20 minutes, I think it would have been kind of neat if we had like 5 episodes and each one was like 90 minutes and we just got like a 90-minute like animated movie every week. Because then you can really like flesh out these different universes a little bit more, and you can still have them end on like a poor note, but you can flesh out these versions of these characters in this type of universe in a longer time and not 20 fucking minutes where everything is rushed.
Yeah, imagine a Marvel Zombies mini movie, animated movie. Dude, that would have been great.
That would have been awesome.
Would have been that. Awesome. I don't need a mini movie of Captain Carter though. I don't need that because that's just
First Avenger. We have a movie.
We have that movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been neat. That would have been neat. That one episode could be a mini movie. I would enjoy that. Right. And then we get Bro Thor episode.
Yeah, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I skipped this episode. I didn't even do it because this sounded frustrating.
It was so bad.
This sounded like I would have watched this and hated myself.
This was definitely the worst episode out of all of them so far.
I figured.
It's just
what happens in it.
So basically, it's called What If Thor was an only child. Like that's the What If version. Loki's still around. Loki doesn't die. He just becomes a frost giant instead of an Asgardian. So that's the whole thing. And apparently that makes Thor like a non-caring whatever person. And he just goes and parties all the time.
That's a little weird because that's not what made him. Loki isn't the thing that made him like humble or anything.
Apparently, that's what they're implying, though. Without Loki, Thor doesn't become a mature person.
Did they not see the first Thor movie? Because that's not how that happened.
I don't know.
He got banished. Remember?
So the episodes it starts with that, like they just kind of like explain that. And then they cut to Odin going into Odin's sleep. and Thor and Thor's mom are standing there, and they're both like, "Yeah, he's asleep. Let's go do whatever." And Thor's mom goes on vacation.
And fuck him. Let's do whatever.
Yeah,
He's in a
yeah,
coma.
basically.
Jesus Christ.
Thor's mom goes on vacation with her friends, and then Thor, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna throw like a rager. I'm gonna go to Midgard and throw a rager. It's gonna be amazing." So he goes to Earth, and he invites everyone from ever in the MCU to be there. So like Korg is there, the Guardians are there, fucking everybody's there from all over the universe, and he's throwing a worldwide party. And Agent Hill is in charge because Thor accidentally knocked out Nick Fury in his party thing. So Maria Hill's in charge, and Maria Hill's like, "We can't party all the time. We can't have the whole world partying for some reason. The world's gonna end." So she calls Captain Marvel to come and fix it, and then we have just a big fight between Thor and Captain Marvel throughout the episode.
I do appreciate the fact that every time Captain Marvel shows up in the show, she gets her fucking ass kicked.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah. It ends with Thor getting told on by Captain Marvel to Thor's mom. Yeah. No, it wasn't Captain Marvel. It was Jane Foster.
This is the show that everyone's like praising and saying is like the greatest thing ever. Like that episode alone sounds like a Disney Channel fucking thing.
Oh, it was bad. It was really
like
bad.
That sounds like a kid, like a not even Disney Channel, like Disney Junior fucking episode of some dumb Marvel show. Like
they showed Captain Marvel cannot pick up Thor's hammer, which I thought was a implied thing, but apparently everybody on the internet is like, "What? She can't pick up Thor's hammer?"
Well,
like, she shouldn't be able
because
to.
Brie Larson at one point said that, "Oh yeah, Captain Marvel would definitely be able to pick up Thor's hammer." So that's probably a fuck you to her. Where Marvel's like, "No."
They did the thing in Thor 1 where Thor just puts his hammer on her while she's laying down and she can't get up. And so they're like, "Yeah, she can't pick it up." Like,
good.
So, and I'm like, "Yeah, she shouldn't be able to."
She shouldn't be able to. There's nothing about her that says she's worthy of anything.
No. I don't even think Spider-Man should be able to.
Spider-Man don't even got his own shit together. All right, like he's not worthy.
No. I think they said at one point that Spider-Man can't because he hides his identity. Like that's one of the reasons or something, but I don't know.
He's also a murderer, so
yeah, he murdered some aliens. He
murders a lot of people.
I don't know if he murders.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man pushed a guy out a window.
That's Tobey's Spider-Man. I was talking about Tom's Spider-Man.
Tom Holland probably killed someone.
I don't think we've seen him murder anybody yet.
I don't know.
Maybe. I'm sure he punched somebody into a vegetable.
Stab a lot of spiders in Endgame or whatever. A lot of aliens.
Yeah. He activated instant kill. He murdered a lot of them.
He still killed them.
So does Captain America though, and he can pick it up. And so does Thor. Thor kills people.
Yeah, but like he's Captain America. Fuck you. Like of course he can. Fuck you.
Yeah, Bro Thor episode was awful. It's really bad.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with this episode because it sounded infuriating.
Yeah. And then we got the I guess second to last episode or the last episode. I don't know which one it is.
I think it's second to last because I heard someone say it was the penultimate episode. So I think we got one more, but it felt like a season finale.
What if Ultron won? That's the episode, which sounds awesome to me. It sounds like an interesting thing to build on.
More interesting than what they did in the actual Ultron movie.
And honestly, this episode's not that bad. Like I kind of enjoyed aspects of it. Definitely, I think maybe it was just because after Bro Thor, I'm like anything can be better than this. But I actually liked most of this episode. I don't know about you, but
it's fine. I wasn't like blown away by it. I was just like, all right, cool. He took over the world. And then I liked. It got interesting when he like noticed the Watcher, and then the Watcher actually had to do something like that. When it kind of got interesting. But before that, it was just like, all right, he's just going to planet and wrecking shop. Cool.
I was very disappointed when Thanos showed up. I was like, really? Like, that's it?
Oh, that was cool. I actually really like that.
I didn't. That
was fucking awesome. No, that's something that would totally happen. I know everyone's been having this debate online since that happened, but like that's so because Ultron would not give a flying fuck who that was. He would look at those Infinity Stones and go, "Oh, what's that?" and then just laser beam him in half. Like he would do that.
I'm not saying he wouldn't do that. I don't think Thanos would go out like such a bitch, though.
I mean, if they were having a proper fight, I think Thanos would have like probably kicked his ass. But that was just like a spur of the moment thing. Like he didn't know he was gonna get laser beamed in half. Like I love that it was just like oh shit, Thanos is serious. Are they gonna team up? Or are they gonna do whatever? Nope, just slice in half. Like fuck.
I thought that was gonna be like, what if Ultron had to fight against Thanos instead of the Avengers? I thought that's where it was leading to, but no, it was just he just murders Thanos.
I like how it happened.
I'm just saying. I guess Vision could have just won in Infinity War because of that, because he's literally the same as Ultron.
It does kind of bring up that issue, but I think wasn't he like out of commission for a little bit?
Doesn't matter. Like, he still has the Mind Stone in him. That's all he needs to laser. He just laser.
Didn't the Mind Stone like not work? Like what was what was the point of him? Like he was on the table for some reason because they had to figure out what was going on with him.
He couldn't phase through things, and they wanted to destroy the Mind Stone so Thanos.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
That's dumb. You laser beam his ass in half, Vision.
He laser beams somebody in the freaking movie.
Shit. There's a big plot hole right there. Infinity War sucks now.
No, it's just they shouldn't have made Thanos just die like a little bitch.
I don't know. I like it in this context. It was just like a fun, like, oh shit, okay.
Like I get it, I understand, but if like he didn't have all 5 of the other Infinity Stones, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. He could just laser beam them in half. But he had 5 Infinity Stones. I feel like he could have done something to stop that.
I don't know, but that's the thing we always talk about, where it's like if you want to establish this villain as being this badass motherfucker, right now Ultron is the villain we're focusing on. How else are you going to make him a threat other than getting the ultimate threat of the MCU?
I'm not saying
Thanos
he can't,
and cutting his ass in half like butter.
I'm not saying that he can't win. I'm just saying I think he won a little too easily. That's my own thing. But it's whatever.
I think that's an appropriate way for Ultron to win a fight.
It's whatever. I know you were upset about the Ultron design, how he looks like Ultron.
That design is dumb. Because Ultron's whole thing for creating Vision was that Vision was his perfect form. And there's no real reason why he would need the rest of the Ultron armor in Vision, because he's pretty much indestructible. He can phase through shit. He's got an Infinity Stone in him. Like, why does he need the rest of the Ultron on?
Can he phase through stuff with the Ultron armor on? I guess not, because the armor doesn't phase. I don't
know. The armor doesn't phase through anything. But yeah, the episode as a whole was just it was fine.
I liked it. I don't know where it's going, because it's like the Watcher's like he broke his rule or whatever. He's got to interfere or whatever.
Yeah, I wish that was something fucking. All these goddamn Disney Plus shows, everything's happening too quick. It's kind of like how everything in The Mandalorian happened way too quick. It's like that would have been cool if that happened in like season 2 of What If. Where it's like establish what the show is before you start breaking the rules. Like we need to see what the show is. We need to see, okay, it's different universes, blah, blah, blah. The Watcher, he just sits and watches, he doesn't do anything. And then season 2, that could be like the cliffhanger for season 2 or some shit, where it's like, oh shit, this is a real thing that's going on. I need to like step in now or everything's fucked. That's when you can start having fun with the show and whatever. It's like they're doing everything way too quick.
Do you know when the Watcher was introduced in Marvel Comics?
No.
The 13th issue of Fantastic Four. So long ass time ago. That's when the Watcher was introduced.
Insane.
Do you know what he did for most of the time he was in Marvel Comics?
He just watched.
He watched. Literally for like 60 years. He didn't do anything. And then when he finally did something, people were like, holy shit. He actually
that's how you fucking set up a fucking character like that. They should have done that in the MCU. Have him just do nothing for 60 years, and then eventually he just goes, all right, I gotta do something. And then, whoa! 6 decades of doing nothing.
Like something's going down when he's like, okay, I gotta do something.
Fucking A, man. But again, that would have been like if you established early on that like he literally only watches. But it seemed like, because throughout the whole show, it seems like every episode he's kind of like, should I intervene? Should I like do something? Should I like you need to just establish that he doesn't do anything other than watch. That
Watcher, he's different from the other Watchers, and he's in the comics, and he does this. He does this in the comics too. He kind of likes Earth because he's like they have potential to be like amazing, so he kind of likes him, but he still tries. He follows his rule, but he has emotional attachments to Earth more than other Watchers do. Other Watchers are like, if they die, they die. It doesn't matter. But he's kind of like, oh man, if they die, like I'm gonna feel bad.
But he still nothing to watch.
Yeah, he still doesn't intervene, but he still he feels emotion about it compared to the other Watchers.
That's fine. I just think in this season he just like intervened too quickly. I think like we should have had an entire season where he just didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I agree with when he jumps in and is like, I got to do some shit or everything's fucked.
I also think the first season shouldn't have had an overarching story into it.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like they're not, but if the last
I think the last episode is gonna be him.
Yeah,
because that's what it seems like. It seems like him and the evil Doctor Strange are gonna like go get some other like Captain Carter and like Party Thor or whatever. Yeah. They're gonna go fight Ultron.
Yeah, I think you're right, but maybe they'll throw a twist. That not be the case.
I don't know. I don't think this show is that clever, to be honest, from what we've seen.
I agree, though. I think this should have at least been like 45-minute episodes instead of 20, 25, 30-minute episodes. Yeah. I think it would have made it a little bit better. Because it just felt like it was too rushed, like you said. Because they're basically doing what if for movies that are 2 hours long. So it's kind of hard.
Basically, yeah. They're like, hey, let's do Age of Ultron, but let's do it in like 25 minutes.
Let's do it in 25 minutes.
And they didn't even do it right in 2.5 hours. Like
it won't feel rushed at all, trust me.
Yeah, it won't feel rushed at all. Don't worry, we got this shit. All right.
Got this shit on lock. That's what if so far, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be.
I think there's one more.
That might be the end of the season though.
I don't know. I honestly don't really give a shit. I'm not watching season 2. If it's anything like this, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, the director guy, he was like, season 2 is gonna be crazier. I'm like, season 1 should have been crazy.
I don't believe you for a goddamn second. That it's gonna be crazy. How crazy are these fucking episodes gonna be? All right, you're already taking the Watcher and having him intervene.
That's just one thing. This is one thing.
So like, even if it gets super crazy and weird in the next season, it's like, all right, we've already seen him intervene. He can just do that again.
Right.
And it's not gonna matter. Like nothing is gonna matter in those universes because the whole purpose is, oh, I can't do anything, and that sucks because I could help out here and prevent that from happening. But it's like, no, he's already doing it, so fuck it, whatever.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's just selfish because he seems like he's only intervening so he doesn't die.
I mean, that's possible. I do the same thing.
Because I mean, like he didn't care when Doctor Strange destroyed his own universe, so like he was just like, whatever.
Yeah, well, that was yeah. I guess that's fair.
Anyways, that's the MC review
for
this month, I guess. Last month.
Sure.
All right, let's get into some movie news. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about.
Movie news.
I got a little bit. I got some interesting things. I don't think.
What is your interesting things?
Oh, you want to hear those first? Or you don't want to wait?
Sure.
Blow your load later.
Let's jump into the interesting shit now.
All right, we got some Christopher Nolan news.
I have this news.
Oh, he officially chose Universal for his next film project.
Yes, he did. Fucking
Warner Brothers is crying right now. I'm sure they are. They're like, God damn it, what did we do?
Good.
It's gonna be weird seeing Nolan not under Warner Brothers. It's gonna be.
Honestly, this is probably the best thing for him because Universal is gonna back up trucks of money to Nolan. And
Universal,
whatever the fuck.
I was gonna say, yeah, Universal's gonna be like, you do anything, we don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what his next movie is, but
it's about the creation of the atomic bomb.
Oh, nice! That seems awesome. Do that. Universal, just give him free reign. Don't let him. Yeah. I want to see somebody melt from the bomb.
I don't know if we're gonna do that. I don't know if he's gonna go that far.
I want to see that.
That'd be neat.
Not rated.
It'd be like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah. You melt to the bone, and the bone melts.
They did that in a PG movie. He could do that in PG-13.
Back then, there was no PG-13.
I don't give a shit.
It was PG. It was G, PG, and R, which is kind of weird to think about.
Yeah. Steven Spielberg created the PG-13.
Yeah, literally Raiders of the Lost Ark did. They were like, yeah, we should.
No, it was Temple.
Was it? Oh, maybe yeah. It was Temple. Yeah,
Temple was where they were like, "This shit, we need something like in the middle." Like,
yeah, we can't go PG to R. Like, there needs to be a middle ground here. So, good on old Spielberg for that. And then my other interesting piece of news. The other ones aren't interesting to you, but I know this one will be. Do you have?
You don't know.
Do you have Blade Runner news in your?
I don't.
Oh. So, based on what I've heard, there are 2 employees working on the Blade Runner franchise trying to keep the timeline intact, is what they said. Does that mean that we're getting a Blade Runner 3? I have no idea. But why do they have people working on it if the franchise is dead?
Why do you have 2 employees? In what timeline? There's 2 movies.
I know. I don't know. Does that mean we're getting a spinoff in between the 2 movies? Are we getting a show?
I think there was something that recently that came out that said Denis Villeneuve wanted to do like a spinoff of Blade Runner. I don't think we're getting another Blade Runner movie just because 2049 bombed. So like I don't think that studio is gonna be like, yeah, let's make another one that's gonna bomb, because the first one bombed, and then 2049 also bombed. So it's like I don't think
not critically though, only financially.
Yeah, but financially, but they don't give a shit about the critics. They want money.
That's true. That's true. I liked 2049. I think it's fantastic.
That was great. I know there's a weird cult of people out there that don't like that movie, but they can go fuck themselves.
2049 is awesome. And I would love a third one, but I don't think we're going to get a third one.
I would love a third one with Harrison Ford and his daughter. I think that would be really interesting. You could do something really neat with that.
But I think based on what I'm hearing, if they're trying to keep the timeline intact, they're going to do something that's before or middle, not after.
Possibly. I mean, they did do shorts before 2049 came out that were like set in between the 2 movies. So, I mean, they could do it like another like anime thing or some shit. I don't know.
Maybe.
Possible.
Maybe. I would totally see this being on HBO Max, though. I could see a show on HBO Max or something.
That'd be fucking bad, man. I would love like an animated Blade Runner show.
You're still waiting for that Spawn freaking show or whatever.
That show's never happening.
I know.
I've lost faith in Todd McFarlane. I don't think that movie's happening, and I don't think that fucking show's happening.
And then my other 2 movie news I know you already know. There was a Matrix Resurrections trailer, which did you watch it or not?
I watched the trailer.
What did you think about the trailer?
Didn't make any goddamn sense to me.
As someone who doesn't care about Matrix at all, how did you feel about the trailer?
I was like, all right, cool. It's Keanu Reeves. He looks like John Wick. I'm like, all right.
I didn't understand it, and I've seen all 3 of the Matrix movies.
I don't think you're supposed to. I think they left it purposefully ambiguous for a reason. I think
I was just like
a bunch of here's a series of images from the movie. Speculate.
I was just like, what is this movie about? Because like
I think the Matrix movies are nonsense anyway.
The third one ended like it ended. Like there's no like, oh yeah, let's do more. Like no, it was like it felt like the end.
Well, apparently this one's supposed to be like a meta thing. Like the Matrix movies exist in this world, so it's like this might be like another Matrix thing.
That's what I've heard. That
those movies are like in the universe as movies.
This is another Matrix, but this is the same Keanu Reeves or whatever, so he knows what's going to happen or something like that.
Yeah, which is odd.
That's what I've heard. It's like, but he still won kind of at the end. Like
I don't fucking know. I have a feeling that this is going to be like every other reboot sequel thing that comes out, where it's like, oh, Keanu Reeves and his fucking child, and he's got to pass the torch to his child, and everyone's going to get all hyped for it, and then they see it, and then they're like, nope, this sucks.
We don't got no Lawrence Fishburne in the trailer, at least. Yeah, some other guy. It's some other guy. But they had what's her name? I don't know her name, but
yeah, Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity. She's
back. So that's cool.
Yeah, but I still have no idea what the movie's about. Like,
I don't know. I don't think anyone really does. I think everyone saw that trailer and was like, "All right, this is cool," but like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Is this gonna have another scene that revolutionized the movie industry like the first one did?
I don't know. That'd be hard to do, because like we've kind of seen everything in terms of like technology wise in movies, unless they do some like weird fucking shit. That'd be cool, but
you haven't seen everything until you think you've seen everything until you've seen something that you haven't seen.
I feel like I've seen everything.
Wait a second, I have seen everything.
I've seen some shit. All right.
Trust me, I've seen everything.
I don't know. I mean, they could. They definitely could come back because it's one of the Wachowskis. They're not both coming back, but it's one of the Wachowskis. So they could definitely come back and be like, "Hey, we're gonna fucking remake movies, bro."
Well, I know Avatar 2, they keep saying like, "Oh, we're gonna revolutionize CG like we did with the first one."
I don't believe that.
It's like, okay, it's like you just make it more realistic looking. Like,
that's a marketing ploy in order to get people interested in the movie. Like they're gonna be blue cats. Like, what else are you gonna do with fucking CG?
Right, right. But yeah, I'm not like super excited for the new Matrix movies because, for one, like I said, it felt like those movies ended. Like there wasn't more to that story. And two, the 2 sequels aren't as good as the first one. So I don't think this one will be
awful.
I wouldn't go as far as say
they're starting.
awful.
No, they're bad. They don't make any sense, and they're pretentious, and they're dumb. They're starting to be like this revisionist history happening now that the new Matrix is coming out. Same thing that happened with the prequels, where everyone's like, "Oh, maybe the Matrix sequels aren't that bad." And I'm like, "Fuck you!" Everyone's been saying for the last 20 years that they're bad, and now everyone's like, "Oh, maybe they're not that bad." And I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I don't know. I think John Wick 4 will do better because I know they're coming out around the same time. But
do better critically or financially?
I think both.
Really?
Well, I don't know. Maybe not critically. Maybe people will be like,
Matrix is gonna make all the fucking money in the world. People love Matrix.
Maybe. I can see it being awful though. I can see it being really bad.
Oh, I can totally see it being awful. We already have 2 Matrix movies that are terrible.
It's not like it's impossible to do.
Yeah. It's not like there's no fucking way. It's like, no, there's a way. We've seen it.
There's a will, there's a way.
We've seen it twice.
And then my last piece of news. This was interesting to me, but like I know people are like losing their minds over it. Chris Pratt was cast to voice Super Mario in the new Super Mario Bros.
Yes, we got a big cast list for the Super Mario animated film.
Yeah. I'm
we
curious.
Got Chris Pratt as Mario. Mm-hmm. We got Charlie Day as Luigi. We got Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, and we got Jack Black as fucking Bowser, bro. Like, come on, that sounds awesome.
It does sound awesome. I'm just like, how did he do the Mario voice? Like, does he like sound like Chris Pratt or does he sound like Mario? Like, which one?
He's gonna sound like Chris Pratt.
But like, does he do the high pitched? Like, it's me.
No, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna have an entire movie of, oh, hey, I'm a Chris Pratt. Oh. Like, no, he's just, hey, I'm Mario. How's it going?
So you think he's just gonna be his normal voice?
Probably. It'll be like him in Onward. He'll be a little like exaggerated and over the top, but it'll just be Chris Pratt.
I guess. Charlie Day as Luigi is amazing.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So because he is Luigi in real life. All right.
And then Jack Black is amazing. That's amazing casting.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I hope he has like a musical number in it, and so it's like singing.
I don't know about that, but
I want it.
I'm curious because this is the first Mario movie since like the '90s one that was really bad.
Yeah, and speaking of the '90s one, John Leguizamo, who played Luigi in that movie, is blasting this new movie for lack of diversity. And the moment I heard about that, I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like, just shut up.
Like what is like? Who cares? They're voicing people. Like they can be anybody.
Yeah, and also, by the way, all of these characters are white. By the way.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what the hell your like issue is because he was complaining at the cast like, oh, they went with all white people, and it's like, okay, they're all white,
right? Like imagine like they cast like Michael Clark Duncan. I know he's not still alive, but they casted him as like Mario.
That would have been a little odd just because of his voice.
but people would be like, "What are you doing?" Like that doesn't make any sense.
He would have made a great Bowser though.
Oh, he would have been an amazing Bowser. That'd be
awesome.
scary. What a scary Bowser!
Hell yeah.
Would have been amazing.
But he's a Hispanic who played an Italian, so like I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Right? Yeah, none of these people are Italian, so like,
yeah.
Why aren't you bashing that? You're bashing them because they're white, not.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with none of them are Italian. Yeah, they're white. Fuck them. You want to get Al Pacino in there somewhere?
Oh, put Al Pacino as
I'd actually be down for that. I'd be totally okay with Al Pacino as Mario.
He'd be sad. No. He sounds so
old. He'll be Wario.
There, yes. Waluigi.
Well, fuck. Who would be Waluigi?
Freaking what's his name in Irishman? What's his name?
De Niro?
Yeah, get De Niro to be Waluigi.
De Niro as Waluigi. That's totally miscast, but I want to see it. He'd be like, I'm Waluigi. You talking to me? That's not how Waluigi is, but I want it.
I would be laughing throughout the entire movie if that was the case. Like,
I'm Waluigi. They
would no way in hell they would ever be able to cast him because he would not do it, but it would be hilarious.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
It'd be
Al Pacino. They could get Al Pacino.
Oh
Al
yeah,
Pacino's a fucking crazy person.
De Niro, he'd be like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Like, look, I'll do these like dumb kids movies. I ain't doing this fucking animated video game movie. All right, fuck you.
He just seems like someone who's like an avid like Mario hater for some reason. Like, I hate Mario. Like, it's awful.
This is vendetta against the Mario games. It's like, I lost my first wife to Mario. Fuck him.
It did better than Pac-Man. Pac-Man was my shit.
Pac-Man was my shit. If we ever get a Pac-Man movie, get Robert De Niro. He loves Pac-Man.
If we ever, no, we won't. After Pixels, we're never getting a Pac-Man movie ever again.
I think we'll get a Pac-Man movie at some point. It'll be like the PlayStation 1 game where he had like arms and legs.
Oh my gosh!
And he like moved around and like punched stuff.
And then we'll get the sequel, Miss Pac-Man.
And Miss Pac-Man, diversity.
And then we'll get a Pac-Man that's not yellow. Be like,
oh, they'll make him like black.
Yeah.
Black Pac-Man.
Get the rainbow Pac-Man.
If we get a black Pac-Man and they don't just call him Black Man, somebody's fucking missing out. All right.
Wade's gonna be like, look, you had a great marketing thing right here, and you ruined it.
Fucked it up. How did you not look at that and go, yeah, he's Black Man? Like,
he's Black Man.
That should just be his name. That's perfect.
But you already call Black Manta Black Man, so that's going to be confusing.
I don't care. Nobody else calls him that.
But you do. When you start talking about Black Man, I'm going to be like, are you talking about Black Manta?
So when we go see Aquaman 2 and I go, oh, Black Man was really dumb in this, you're going to be like, wait, are you talking about Pac-Man? No, because Pac-Man's not in the movie.
Imagine someone overhearing that conversation, not knowing anything about what we just talked about, and just being like,
Black Man is really dumb. It's like, what?
And you hear somebody else saying, you talking about Pac-Man? And people just be like, what the fuck are these two talking about?
What are you talking about? You talking about a Black Man and Pac-Man? Black people don't like Pac-Man.
It's like, we just walked out of the Aquaman 2 movie. Like, what are you talking about?
Get out of my shit, bro. Why are you creeping on my conversation? It's an inside joke.
Get out of here.
The fuck out of here. Go watch Aquaman 2 and leave me the hell alone.
Anyways, what other movie news you got? That was my
Speaking of Black Man, we got some triplets news.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Yes, we got some fucking triplets news that only I care about. Literally no one else is talking about this. Apparently, Eddie Murphy dropped out. Apparently, he's not doing it anymore, which is odd because I figured he was making his comeback. This would be a movie that he would want to be on his roster. But they replaced him with Tracy Morgan. And honestly, fucking A, that's awesome. I love Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan's pretty good. And I think he'd be
hilarious.
I think he'd be a good fit with both of them.
Oh man, I hope this movie comes out in the next like year or so. I want to see this movie so bad.
I feel like it's gonna be like really goofy and possibly it's gonna be really bad, but like a fun bad.
I don't care. I want to see Tracy Morgan and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito as brothers, and they're just yelling at each other for 2 hours. Because the first Twins isn't like art; it's a dumb, fun, stupid movie, but it's funny. So like, just make a funny movie, and that's all I'll fucking want out of this.
That's all you need. And Tracy Morgan alone is funny to me. So.
Tracy Morgan can hold a scene like nobody's business. He can just show up and just say bullshit. And just the way he talks and like how he pronounces stuff is hilarious.
Yeah. So he could definitely just hold that movie by himself with the other two. Yeah. Easily.
Make this happen before all of them die because they're all old.
Yeah. Especially Schwarzenegger over there. He's
Schwarzenegger's like decaying.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird when he's like not like jacked anymore. Like he's still jacked as like a 75-year-old.
No, I mean he's gonna be like a jacked skeleton, like sitting in his fucking coffin.
Be in his wheelchair with just giant muscles. Just
Like there'll be like someone will like dig up his grave, and then they'll just see this like Conan the Barbarian looking skeleton. They're like, who the fuck was that? It's like, that was Arnold.
It was the Terminator.
It was the Terminator. He's got the sunglasses on.
That's how they bury him with the jacket. And
why not? Fucking A. I would want to go out that way.
Is that his most iconic role? Is that what he's going to be?
Terminator?
Like? Yeah. Is that going to be like, Terminator, not Predator, not whatever.
Name his character from Predator.
Arnold.
That's not his name.
I don't know.
Name it, like no one's seen fucking Conan. Like it's the Terminator. Like everybody knows Terminator.
Yeah, I guess.
Or I guess technically it's Jingle All the Way. But
yes, that iconic movie, Jingle All the Way. Kindergarten Cop.
That movie's amazing. If you haven't seen Jingle All the Way, that movie's incredible.
I know you watch it every Christmas.
I do. It's so fucking hilarious. I laugh my fucking ass off every time I see that movie. That movie's so stupid.
Everybody's got that stupid movie they like. Everybody's got one.
I've got a lot of them.
Yeah, you do. Samurai Cop, cough, cough.
Fuck you. That's an amazing film. All right. Art. Speaking of art, are you a fan of the Riddick movies?
The Riddick movies? I haven't seen any of them.
So okay. About this. Riddick 4 might be happening.
Oh, this is Vin Diesel, right? So Riddick? Yeah. I mean, I've seen clips of Riddick, but I've never sat down and watched any of the movies. Are they any good? Have you seen them?
Pitch Black, I think, is great. I think Pitch Black is like a really fun, like sci-fi movie from the 90s. Like it's really, really good. Chronicles of Riddick, I've seen, and I vaguely remember like images of it. Like I just get like flashes. Like every now and then I'll just like think of a scene from Chronicles of Riddick, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's Chronicles of Riddick. It was really weird.
You wake up in a cold sweat. It's like
Chronicles of Riddick. It's not as good as Pitch Black. And then the most recent Riddick movie that came out, I haven't seen, and it looks dumb and probably has no right to exist.
So you're thinking that this one is going to be the same way?
Probably. I like Pitch Black was a fine movie on its own. I don't understand why this needed to be a big franchise, but whatever.
I'm imagining just Predator, like they just keep going downhill every time they make a Predator movie.
That's pretty appropriate. Except Predator 2 is fun as hell.
But think about 2018 or 17 Predator, whenever that movie came out. That was not
fun. That movie's incredible because they say autism is the next evolution of humanity.
Yeah, I remember I was talking about
that movie's incredible.
Yeah, I think we talked about that on the podcast.
That is a plot of a modern movie.
Yeah.
How did that movie not get canceled?
Right. 2018 was a weird time.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That should be in film schools everywhere. Just like, how did this?
Yeah, why aren't people still talking about this? Like, that's this highly offensive thing. Like, no one cares about. Like, all right, whatever.
Do you think they show like that movie and like this is how you don't make a movie in film school? Like,
I think there's a lot of movies that are far worse than that movie that they probably show in film school that are like, hey, don't do this.
Like The Room, they're like, don't do this. Like, this is bad.
I mean, honestly, like The Room, you should show in film school to be like, here's how to be a billionaire for making like a stupid dumb movie.
Shooting on an iPhone because most cameras now on iPhones are better than what he used. So
honestly, yeah, he shot that fucker on film too, and it still looks like piss.
That is like the best quote. That's the best quote I've heard you say all year. Like,
just shot it on film, but it still looks like piss.
Like,
I want to put that on a T-shirt, and I'm gonna give you that as a Christmas gift.
Do it. No one will understand it. Just
yeah. Just imagine you opening it at your family, and like you open it up, you're like and then you like show your family, and they're like, "What?
What does that mean?"
You're not gonna get it.
You don't get it. You're
not gonna get it.
Like really, like weird film nerds. I think they'd be like, "Oh, I get it. I understand." That's it. That's the only.
Shot it on film, and it still looks like piss. And then I'll just have Tommy Wiseau's face
on the back.
Just a big old face, his big old ugly zombie face.
You can't do that though, because then we're gonna have to like pay him, and then he's gonna get.
No, we don't. I ain't paying him a goddamn thing. If it's just for you, I'm not like selling it.
All right, fair enough.
It's a person. I ain't paying him a goddamn thing.
You paid when he bought the room. Twice.
That's true. I've only bought The Room once.
No, you got it for me.
I don't have it.
Oh, so you gave me your copy?
No, I bought it specifically for you.
Oh.
I've never purchased it for myself.
Well, you still bought it. So
I did. I'd purchase The Room. The Room's a fun movie.
You also purchased like Green Lantern, so
yeah, I've made a lot worse purchases in my life.
I've seen worse stuff. All right,
I've seen worse than The Room. All right, like, I know everyone thinks The Room is like the worst thing ever. Y'all got to watch some like 50 movies. There's some shit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, before we get into more movie news, Wade, I think we should do Spooktober. We should review a spooky movie every podcast. We
could do that.
Pick a movie.
I mean, we already got Venom 2.
Yeah, we did Venom 2. That's not a very spooky movie, but yeah. We kind of did this last year too. We did The Shining, and then we did
we did Shining.
Then we did The Shining 2 because that came out around October or something. So yeah, we got
to pick a spook fest.
I kind of, because I haven't seen it, I kind of want to do John Carpenter's The Thing, but
I would love to talk about the movie. Fucking A, yes, we're doing that.
All right, that can be the first one.
We're doing it.
There's a little teaser for next podcast episode.
Fuck, man. I love that movie.
I haven't seen it, and I know it's got great effects in it, so
it's fucking amazing.
I'm down to watch it. So, Spooktober. It started Spooktober.
Speaking of Spooktober, there's a new John Watts next movie. I don't know if it's his next movie, but it's a movie coming out. He's doing a thriller starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Oh, that's so weird. They've been in a movie together, right?
They've been in a bunch of movies together.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay, I like it. Well, it's just a thriller. That's all we get.
That's all we know so far.
Maybe it's about the song Thriller.
Who's playing Michael Jackson?
Neither one of them. Michael Jackson's not in it. It's about the song.
It's about the making of the song without Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That seems like a problem.
No, Brad.
That seems like that movie's gonna have one major issue. No Michael Jackson.
George Clooney can be Michael Jackson. There you go.
No. Because even if you put him in blackface, he's still just gonna talk like George Clooney.
Nah, you don't need to, because this was when he was bleached or whatever.
He was black when Thriller came out. So he needs to just be black.
That's right. He was.
I don't know what era of Michael Jackson you're fucking thinking of.
I don't know either. Maybe I'm just thinking of that demon face at the end of the music video, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like it's evil Michael Jackson. But,
when he's got his like cat eyes or whatever.
Yeah.
He was still black at the end of that.
I don't know why, but I just imagined him not black for some reason.
I mean, that's how most people picture Michael Jackson, because he wasn't black for a lot of his life.
The second half of his life, yeah.
Exactly.
What else we got movie news wise?
There's one. This is kind of just hearsay, and it's just somebody like just saying stuff. But Henry Cavill is open to playing a James Bond villain.
Oh, that kind of makes sense after doing Mission Impossible. I could see that. It won't be Daniel Craig's James Bond, which kind of sucks. I'd love to see Henry Cavill go up against Daniel Craig. It'd be amazing.
That would be really fun.
But whoever the next James Bond is, if it's a woman, that might be weird, I guess.
Henry Cavill just punches the shit out of a woman.
Yeah, that's why it'd be weird, just having a giant Henry Cavill punching.
I mean, he was going to be James Bond pre-Daniel Craig. Like, he was in the running to be James Bond. Like, they wanted him to be James Bond. Like, he was going to be like the next big thing. And then he's like, nope, I'm going to be Superman. So it'd be interesting if he's like joins that franchise as a villain and something. That'd be fun.
I just imagine this. I know it's not going to happen because he doesn't want to be James Bond, but if Idris Elba was the next James Bond versus Henry Cavill, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, man. I don't understand why Idris doesn't just do one movie. He doesn't have to sign on for a franchise. Just go, all right, cool, I'll do one film.
Just one.
That's all. That's all.
He'd be so.
I think George Lazenby James Bond. I think he only did like one movie as James Bond. So like, just do one.
He'd be so dope. I love it.
And that'd be the only time I care about James Bond.
Exactly.
Ever.
I've never cared about any of the James Bonds. I know Daniel Craig is the most brutal. That's the only thing I know about James Bond.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see yourself as James Bond.
Yeah, everyone would.
He's one of those people that's like he could pull it off. Like he can pull it off.
Yeah, he was like born to play that fucking character, and he's like, nope, I don't want to do it. I want to be in Suicide Squad. I want to be Knuckles.
I'm gonna be Knuckles. I'm gonna be in the Dark Tower. I'm gonna be in.
Yeah, he's taking all this weird shit. It's like, okay.
And again, I know we've said it multiple times, but he's like, I don't want to be in the MCU because it's too silly. Like, what the, you're Knuckles.
Yeah,
you're in Hobbs and Shaw.
Fucking weirdo.
Like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't know what like drugs he's smoking, but I want some.
Maybe he's just kind of a lunatic. I don't know.
He might be. I mean, he works in Hollywood, so he probably is.
He's Hollywood's making him crack and pressure.
Yeah. Speaking of lunatics, we got a trailer for the new cut of Rocky IV that Stallone's been working like the last 2 years on.
Oh, did we? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, this is like a passion project of his.
It's a new cut. So like,
yeah,
he's just re-editing Rocky IV.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know, honestly. I know. Well, there's one reason. There's one main reason. He wanted to cut the robot out of it because it was dumb. But like, I don't know how else it'll be different, other than just like more punching.
I don't know, because you can't go back and like reshoot anything, so you have to use whatever you.
Yeah, and apparently there was like a lot of footage that was on the cutting room floor, but it's like Rocky IV. I don't think this cut is gonna make it like drastically different.
I remember Rocky
IV, a great movie.
I was gonna say I remember Rocky IV not being like the best movie. So
yeah, it's 2 hours of montages. Yeah. But I don't know. The robot's gone, so
cool. Does anybody care about Rocky IV?
There's a lot of older people do.
I mean, I guess out of like the Creed movies, only Rocky 1 and 4 really like. Is it Rocky 4 is where the guy dies, right?
Mm-hmm.
His dad.
Apollo.
Yeah. So those are the only two that really matter. So I guess it makes sense in like the Rocky franchise.
But like, is this gonna be like the cut to end all cuts of like movies? Like, it's gonna be Rocky 4.
It's not gonna be like Justice League. Like, it's not gonna be drastically different.
I would love to see the Stallone cut of the 4-hour Stallone cut of Rocky 4.
I don't, because I feel like it'd be very boring.
And then it's the same exact movie, but it's just 2.5 hours of James Brown doing his little like musical thing.
It's just everything they didn't cut. It's just the entire movie. They just didn't cut.
Throw it all in, whatever.
Doesn't matter if it doesn't make any sense.
That's usually what director's cuts do. They just throw in a bunch of shit.
Why are there so many cuts of Blade Runner? I don't know. There's like 5.
Because Ridley Scott's a madman.
There's like 5 cuts of that movie.
Because he's a madman. He was like, we're going to do the theatrical cut.
Like, all of them are just slightly different. Like, there's not like anything major that changes in it. So,
yeah.
It's like, okay, cool.
Because the theatrical cut was bad, and Ridley Scott was like, fuck you. And then he did like the director's cut, which added the unicorn shit in it. Because he just wanted to add that for some fucking reason. And then there's like the international cut, and then there's like the European cut, and then there's the final cut.
I think
I've basically just the director's cut.
I think I've only seen the final cut. That's all I've ever seen.
The final cut's good.
Yeah, I think So
it's a good one.
Okay, Stallone. We'll see how Rocky IV ends up. Better or worse? I don't know.
It'll be the same.
Are you gonna watch it?
I want to watch it. Coppola put out a new cut of Godfather 3, and I have it. I still haven't gotten around to watching it. I want to watch it just because I'm curious to see like how it's different.
There's no way it made it like up to par with the first two, but I'm sure it might.
Fucking hell.
I'm sure it might be better than the original cut, but I don't know.
I don't hate the original cut of Godfather 3. I know everyone like trashes it, but I'm like, all right, it's a whatever movie, but it's not garbage.
I think people trash it just comparing it to the other two. They're like, yeah,
that makes sense. That's fine. But if you just look at it as a movie, it's a fine movie.
What other news we got going on?
I got one piece of TV news.
Oh, hit me as hard as you can.
We got the first image released for the Last of Us HBO show.
I saw this. Yes,
and it's just the back of Joel and Ellie looking at a thing.
They're looking at a plane crash. And
something, yeah.
And it's just like, cool.
And it looks like, all right.
It looks cool. I like the backs.
And he does it like we didn't see anything.
Well, like in terms of like they look like how they do in the game.
Sure, I expected that.
I hope this show's good. Like I have high.
I hope it's good. I want it to be good. I hope it's not The Last of Us 2.
I think my high hopes are going to have me be disappointed, but I have high hopes for the show.
I think we'll get one season, and then everybody will bitch about it, and then we'll never get any more.
I don't know. I'm still waiting. I want an image release of the infected. Like I want to see a clicker. I want to see how good they look. I want to
see what those look like.
Because I think, I think they should have. I don't know if they did, but they should have hired the people that did the makeup for The Walking Dead because The Walking Dead makeup looks amazing.
I hope they're practical. I hope they didn't like pussy out and go, "Hey, we're just gonna make them all CG."
No, dude, you can say whatever you want about The Walking Dead, but their zombies look good.
Yeah.
Like, so like, and it's because they use makeup. Like they use makeup.
Yeah.
And they spend hours makeuping like hundreds of people.
Yeah. So, makeup always works.
Yeah. So do that. Do makeup. And I hope the clickers look ugly as sin. Like
they fucking better. They better. I don't want any sexy clickers running around, all right?
I don't want to see any human face in that clicker. I just want to see just a mush of mushrooms all over that dude's face.
I want to see a fungus monster.
Fungus monster. Are we gonna like? Is this? Do you think this show is just gonna take place like smack dab in the middle, or are we gonna start from like the?
I think it's just gonna be its own thing. It might just be the first game again. Like I don't think it's gonna be canon to the games or anything. I think it's just gonna kind of somewhat retell the first game story, and then kind of do its own thing with it.
I don't know. I know my dad's really wanting to see it because he's heard about the Last of Us game. He's never seen anybody play it or anything, but he's like, "Oh, I finally able to."
Really, he should really just like sit down and watch like somebody play it.
He's excited for it, so I know he's excited for it.
Well, that's somebody's excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it.
I'm interested in it. I don't. We haven't seen enough for me to be like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be awesome." I'm interested in it.
Wade's like, I put a pin in it. It's on my bulletin.
But it's up there, and if we see some more stuff out that looks cool, I'll be excited.
But if it's not, I'm taking the pin out, throwing it on.
But if it's anything like The Last of Us 2, you fucked it up.
The Last of Us 2 after like they killed Joel, like everything after that.
The whole game.
All right, we did our TV news. I got some Star Wars news. You want to hear some Star Wars news?
What is it?
I think we'll finally have some Star Wars news that you're excited about, Wade.
That's impossible.
You don't think so? You don't think what I'm about to say?
What? No. What could this possibly be that would make me go, "Ooh, shit"?
Because you've been saying it for years, and they finally have come out and said
that Star Wars should end. Are they ending Star Wars?
No. No, okay.
Well, I'm not excited.
The other thing that you've been saying for years.
What other thing?
Lucasfilm is interested in doing more non-canon things for Star Wars, like Star Wars Visions. So
that's cool. That's fucking rad. But like, it's so weird. The fact that they said more is concerning because that's not the answer. That I don't want. We're just gonna do more shit. That's not what I want. I want less shit, actually. But I want it to. And it's not even that like I don't want them to be canon. I just don't want them to focus solely on like, oh, how is this gonna fit the timeline? But like, just worry about the movie. If it's canon, it's canon. If not, cool. Like, but who gives a shit? Just make a good movie. Like, they've been so like slaves to canon recently. But then, which is funny because then they end up retconning that canon later anyway. So it's like just make a thing. Like, who gives a shit?
But this has me a little bit worried about like Taika Waititi's movie. Like, I guess that's gonna fit somewhere in canon if they're just now talking about putting stuff.
I don't know. It could be out of canon. Maybe this is the first that's out of canon.
I don't know. Taika Waititi's thing and the Obi-Wan show are the only things I'm looking forward to in Star Wars.
I'm actually kind of interested in Taika Waititi's thing because I hope it's animated and I hope it's just like a crazy like fucking weird thing.
I don't think it's gonna be animated, but it might be. I don't know.
I think it might, and I want it to be. If it's not, then fuck it.
I don't know. I didn't watch Visions. I heard it was okay.
I haven't watched Visions.
I heard it was all right, but I haven't seen
I've heard good things about it.
Haven't seen it. And then I have one more Star Wars thing. This is kind of, I guess, is more game news, but it's about Star Wars games, so I put it in the Star Wars news. Anyways, they're remaking Knights of the Old Republic for next new gen or whatever. So there's that.
Cool. They've remade Knights of the Old Republic like 1,000,000 times.
Oh yeah, no. I mean that game is like
that's a good game.
The game is like 20 years old at this point.
Yeah, it's a good game. But I'd like some new Star Wars games, please.
Yeah, we got a. What was that last one that came out?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order. Yeah, I didn't play.
I didn't play, but I heard it was good.
I heard it was good. Yeah, I heard it was short. I heard there wasn't much to it. But
where's the fucking remaster of Force Unleashed? All right.
I don't know. I feel like that game would feel dated now.
Remaster it.
Maybe it wouldn't, but I feel like it
fucking new one.
I thought you just said we want new stuff.
This is a new thing.
And that's a remake.
Make a sequel.
They did. It's called Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed 3, but make it good because Force Unleashed 2, I bought it, and then I went to my grandpa's that night, and I beat the fucking game in like 4 hours, and I was so upset.
Well, everybody and their baby mamas were like hyping that game up.
Yeah, because Force Unleashed 1 was dope.
It was. And then Force Unleashed 2 was not.
And then no one ever talks about Force Unleashed 2 because it was dumb.
Yeah, it was. It was real dumb. That's all my Star Wars news, though. Figured I just want to tell you that they were going to do more non-canon things.
That's fine. Good. I'm glad they finally learned their lesson after 6 years.
See, I told you it wouldn't be news that you hated. I told you.
Cool. I'm not excited for it. But it doesn't give me high blood pressure, so.
No, it does. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just because it's Star Wars, it's gonna. But
anytime you hear Star and then Wars, you're just like, "Ooh,
fuck." If I hear Star, I'm like, "Oh, Star Trek."
And it's talking about Stars?
Wars.
Specifically in that order.
Star Trek Wars.
All right, you ready to do some Marvel news?
Marvel.
We always got quite a bit of Marvel stuff, but I also have quite a bit of DC stuff this time too. So
I have a little bit of DC stuff.
First things first, let's get our trailer news out of the way. We did get a Hawkeye trailer. Wade, how'd you feel about that?
It was fine. I know but it needs to calm the fuck down. Every time Marvel releases, that's like my new catchphrase on the show. Every time Marvel releases a trailer for fucking anything, they're like, "This is the greatest goddamn thing I've ever seen, and it's gonna be amazing." And I'm like, "It's a fucking like, it looks fine. I'm not pooing on the show. I'm sure the show will be lovely, and I'm sure people will love it, and they'll be happy, and they'll go watch a thing that's great and awesome and fun, and I hope everybody enjoys it. I don't give a flying fuck about the show. I'm not gonna watch the show. The trailer was fine.
I think it looks fun, and I like the Christmas setting. I'm digging the Christmas setting. Plus, I'm excited for Kingpin, and I know he's going to be in it. So
cool. Where's Hawkeye's wife?
She's dead. No, I don't know.
She's not dead.
I don't know. I don't know where she is.
She wasn't.
But I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be better than What If. I think that's for sure.
Oh well, that's not hard to do. I can make fucking anything better than What If. This podcast is better than What If. All right.
Just me and you sitting here is better than What If.
I mean, it is.
Oh my gosh. Should we do Spider-Man stuff? I mean, we always have Spider-Man news. It seems like the only thing. So
I don't have any fucking Spider-Man news.
I got Spider-Man news because I always have fucking Spider-Man news because that's the only thing anybody can goddamn talk about.
You're the Spider-Man man.
I'm the Spider-Man man.
Yes.
It's a lot of Sony news, actually. Anyways. Let's get some No Way Home stuff out of the way. Toby is apparently going to be older in this movie, the No Way Home movie, but Andrew is
like older than like he is now, or just don't know. Older just because he's older.
They just said older.
I don't want like a grandpa's Tobey Maguire.
I don't think he's going to be that old, but I think he might just be the age that he is now. So he's older than in Spider-Man 3. But they said Andrew was supposed to be the same age as in Amazing Spider-Man 2, which makes me think, is he still supposed to be like a high school kid?
Well, no, he graduated high school.
Still, he's like just fresh out of high school.
So he's like early college. He still looks like could be like a college age.
I guess
he still looks young.
I guess.
And they could de-age him and do whatever anyway if they need to.
Yeah, they're already de-aging Doc Ock.
Yeah, so whatever, it's like it doesn't. He can be a fucking baby if he wants to.
So yeah, there's your Toby and Andrew for the week or the month. Tom Hardy was spotted with a No Way Home merch hat on. I don't know if you saw that.
I haven't.
But I don't know what that means.
I have a feeling. I know everyone that scene in the trailer where that like thing comes out and like hits the thing and it's like in the shadow and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the lizard." To me, that looks like Venom.
He's got a tail.
I never saw the tail.
He's got a tail. Go back. And
I don't see the tail, and that could just be a tendril because Venom has.
Why would he have a tail?
He's got tendrils. It could just be a tendril that's out. I don't know.
And they've already said the lizard is in the movie, so I don't know why.
That doesn't mean that's lizard in that specific shot. I'm sure lizard is in the movie. That doesn't mean that's because he's like he's got the same exact build that Venom has.
The lizard also has the same build.
Lizard that we know is a little skinnier.
Maybe he's bulked up since then. He's been working out.
He's been lifting the weights in prison.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna fuck up Spider-Man.
He's been working out, man.
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I have a feeling especially after the post-credit scene of Venom 2, I have a feeling Venom might show up. I
think he might be a post-credit scene. I don't think he'll be a villain.
Possibly.
Because I think they already have enough villains in it. I don't think they need Venom in there. But I think he might be like a post-credit scene. I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be like a main villain, but he's in it.
Yeah, because I don't think they want to detract from Norman Osborn.
The other 18 villains they have.
And Doc Ock. Like Lizard, you can detract from because he doesn't really speak. You just have him beat the Lizard. But like the other ones, like Electro, like I want to see more of Electro. I don't care about.
I want to see Jamie Foxx kill it as Electro finally.
Right. Like I just saw 2 bad movies with Venom. I don't need another movie with Venom.
I don't need to see another bad Venom.
Right. Like let's see a cool Electro, and then we can get bad Venom later.
Hell yeah.
Let's see what else. All right. So here's this. That's all the No Way Home news I have, by the way. So we're finally dwindling down on the No Way Home news. So this is about Spider-Verse 2. So we got some Spider-Verse 2.
Oh boy, the movie that I'm not really excited for.
You're not excited? You're not excited for Spider-Verse?
No, they should have left the first one alone because it was perfect.
Well, this is rumored, but Yuri Lowenthal, I think I pronounced it.
Lowenthal.
Do you know who that is?
He did the voice in the game.
Yeah, he's rumored to be in Spider-Verse 2.
Is he still in the Spider-Man 2, or didn't they replace him?
No, they just redid the character model. He still voices.
Oh, it's the same guy. Okay.
Yeah, he still voices.
He's got a good Spider-Man voice.
He does. I don't know if he's going to be playing the Spider-Man from the game or if
probably. He probably will.
They could do that because he's got the different costume. He's got the big white spider and whatever. So
have it be the white spider, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, it's the video game Spider-Man."
Yeah, and then people who haven't played the video game be like, "Who the fuck's that?
Who the fuck's that? Why's he got a big white spider on him? Is he Venom?"
So yeah, that I'd be down for that. I'd be down for him being in there.
I'd be totally okay with that.
That's all the Spider-Verse news that I got, and then I got one more Sony news. Sony is said to be using Madam Web to continue to explore the Spider-Verse after No Way Home.
I've heard about this. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Because Madam Web isn't even introduced.
Do you know who Madam Web is?
Yeah, she's in the comics. She's like the thing that connects all the Spider-Man universes.
Yeah. She she's kind of like the Watcher, but just for Spider-Man.
Cool. Are we gonna get a movie about that?
I don't know. I know
she's just gonna show up. That's a weird thing to just introduce in the movie.
I know at one point Sony said they wanted to do a Madam Web movie, and I'm like, why? That just seems super boring.
Yeah.
Unless you're just doing we're just gonna hop around the multiverse with Madam Web, just looking at Spider-Man. Just okay.
I mean, you could do a Shattered Dimensions type of movie where it is just hopping from different universes and seeing what the fuck is going on, and then having if they did an anthology Spider-Man movie, and then Madam Web was at the center of it, introducing each of the stories. You could do something like that. They're not, because they're not smart enough to think of that. But that'd be the only way I could really see you introducing Madam Web in a movie in any kind of way. Because like, what is she just gonna like? Are we gonna like in No Way Home? Is she just gonna pop up and be like, "Hey, I'm Madam Web," and then everyone's gonna go, "Who? What is that?"
I don't know. I really don't know. But like, it makes me kind of scared that they said they do more Spider-Verse stuff because like it's like okay, like how many times are we gonna bring back Toby or Andrew? Like how many times are we gonna continue? Like it's cool the first time, but like let's not do it 4 more times after.
Yeah, and I think that's gonna be the whole the major thing that multiverse kind of seeps into, and this is why I think they're only gonna be doing the multiverse for the next like couple years, is because it's like how long until that kind of concept gets kind of boring, where it's like, oh, we're doing a multiverse thing, like in Doctor Strange 2. I'm sure there's gonna be a fuck ton of cameos in there. How long until that gets like, all right, we get it. There's a multiverse. Everything's connected. Stop. Like, because if they just keep doing it, it's like, all right, we know this is gonna happen. Like anything can happen. Like whatever.
So it's like we just saw Toby like 2 years ago. Like
this isn't like a new thing anymore. Like we've seen it. Like come on.
It's worn off since then. I've seen him, Toby. I know.
Yeah.
I know he's got that crying baby face. Right.
Mm-hmm. You think we'll see? You think we'll see him cry in No Way Home?
Like if they get the thing where he's got a kid, maybe he'll cry about his kid. I
hope his dumb kid dies and he does a little dumb crying face. Like, maybe and we get more memes.
Maybe he'll sacrifice himself and he'll die and he'll never have to be Spider-Man ever again because he's dead.
He'll be crying while he does it.
Maybe if he gets stabbed or something, he's like, "Oh, it's hurt."
He falls into a volcano.
Doc Ock chokes him out. I don't know.
I'd be over the fucking moon if he dies.
But yes, he's
finally
dead.
I've been waiting 20 years for this fucking bitch to get his comeuppance.
And you're the one who's like, we need to stop killing older characters, but this guy, you're like, fucking kill him.
Because I don't like this Spider-Man. I don't like his Spider-Man. Spider-Man's dumb.
I know you're egging on the fans there, just being like, I hate Toby Spider-Man, he's awful. Blah.
I mean, I am kind of like just making fun of the fans and everything, but I also really just don't like that version of Spider-Man.
Fair enough.
Because he's a terrible Spider-Man.
I know you just hate the organic webs. I know that's what it is.
But that's I don't. It's not like that's not like you when it's like, oh, Lizard doesn't have a snout, so fuck the whole movie.
I know I hate the character. I hate the character design of Lizard. I don't hate the character.
Okay. But like that doesn't ruin the whole movie for me. That version of Peter Parker is a terrible person.
Yeah. I agree with that.
He's a terrible person and he's a terrible Spider-Man, and I hope he fucking dies.
He's a great nerdy Peter Parker. I'll give him that.
I'm not talking about Toby. I'm talking about the version, the Peter Parker version in that universe is a terrible person.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. Let's talk a little bit about let's talk about ScarJo, I guess, and her lawsuit.
Ooh, yeah.
Going on. So Disney settled. I don't know if you heard about this. Disney settled.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear how much they settled?
ScarJo won.
ScarJo won $40 million.
Holy fuck!
Yeah.
You know how much coffee you can buy with that?
She settled for $40 million.
You can buy a whole Starbucks.
I figured they were gonna settle because if like Disney wins that, they look like the bad guy here, and they don't want that. They don't want their image being tarnished. So, but I figured that was awesome. And they said that they quote are looking forward to working with ScarJo in the future. So I guess they want her for other Disney projects. And they're like,
I don't know. They might just be saying that, but in actuality, they're like, "Fuck you! Don't ever do this again."
I mean, like, it's not like she didn't have like a grounds to like say.
No, she
like,
did. But I don't think Disney appreciated being sued though.
Probably not. But like then again, they shouldn't have tried to avoid the thing in her contract being.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. But I'm not defending Disney. I'm just saying from their perspective, they're like, "Fuck you! Don't ever take us to court, you fucker."
Kevin Feige's not defending Disney either. It's funny. I think it's funny.
Yeah, Kevin Feige doesn't give a shit.
He's literally just been like, look, I didn't want to put Black Widow on Disney Plus. I told them not to, but they fucking did it anyway. So
fuckers went behind my back.
Also, the Russo brothers came out and said some stuff about the ScarJo suing. They said they were skeptical to work with Disney after that.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, which I'm just like, did they have other things that they were going to work with Disney on, or like are they strictly
I'm
talking Marvel?
sure it might have been Marvel stuff. It might have been like Secret Wars or some shit. Or it could have been some other Disney thing. I don't know. I'm sure Disney was going to keep them around. They made 2 of the biggest movies in the world. Like they're not just going to be like, no, we don't want you to come back. Like no, they're going to keep them around.
Yeah. I'm sure they just back up another truckload of money and just be like, all right, come on back.
Make Jungle Cruise 2.
No, don't waste the Russos on Jungle Cruise 2. I don't know what I don't know what Disney would use them for, but like, don't do that.
Probably more Marvel stuff.
No, I could see. You know what? I could see them bringing them back for a Star Wars thing. I could see that.
Or Star Wars. I could do Star Wars.
Yeah, I could see that.
You're like, hey, Russos, please save Star Wars for us.
Make a good Star Wars movies, and then they do, and they're like, all right, that's it. We're not doing it anymore.
We're not doing it. We made 2. Fuck you. We want to make weird movies with Tom Holland. All right.
Speaking of suing people, Marvel sued back for Jack Kirby's estate.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a little older news. And
everyone's been talking about it recently, though.
Yeah,
it's and big thing.
They're suing to keep their character rights, which if they lose, like it'll affect the MCU, but I don't know how much. I don't think.
We'll see. Here's the thing about that. Everyone's saying that like, oh no, the MCU, like if this had like if they lose, this is going to affect all of the MCU. It won't, because all the only difference it'll make to the MCU is that Marvel will now have to just pay the estate, and probably a fuck ton, in order to use these characters, which they will do if they have to. They're not just going to stop the MCU. Are you out of your fucking mind? One of the biggest franchises ever. They're going to keep that shit going, but they're just going to have to pay them now. And also people are acting like it's like the worst thing in the world. I actually like saw this and I was like, this is kind of, I'm not gonna say it's like the best thing possible for, these type of characters, but it's definitely a more interesting thing, because that means if these characters do kind of revert back to the estate, that means that Disney won't have like a full monopoly on those characters, and we can have filmmakers and other studios come to the estate and go, hey, we want to do this. We'll give you $50 million if you let us use Spider-Man in something. And I remember I saw John Campea talk about it, and he was like, that would be crazy if like WB came to the Ditko estate or the Kirby estate and went, hey, we want to make a Batman and Spider-Man movie. Like that, like theoretically we could have that. We could have that happen if, and I'm sure people would love that. Like I think that would open up a whole lot more doors in terms of what we could see. I think we could get, darker, more kind of interesting takes on Marvel characters if different filmmakers want to come in and kind of just do their own thing and not have to worry about Disney. I can see why people are like freaking out about it, because it could affect the MCU in some kind of ways. I don't think it will, but I kind of looked at this as a positive, where it's like we could get some really like interesting fucking shit out of this.
I, for one, don't think that they're gonna win that lawsuit. I'm just letting you
they might not. I don't think they will, just because Disney's been averting like copyright laws for years, so they'll find some kind of way to get out of this.
That, and they're going to be going up against two of the biggest companies in the world, and Sony and Disney, because Sony's going to be fighting to keep Spider-Man because he is one of the characters.
Sony's going to be fighting their fucking they're going to be fighting for their life.
Yeah, to keep Spider-Man.
That's all they have. They're going to be playing dirty.
Also, the grounds that they are saying that they're suing for, I don't think they hold much merit, because they're saying that since Jack Kirby was partially created to those characters, he owns them, but he created them for Marvel, and Marvel's owned by Disney. So
yeah, that's the whole debate of like who really owns the thing. I do think that maybe the Kirby estate should get some they're gonna some rights to it. I don't think they necessarily should get all, but maybe like half. Like I don't know how that would work.
I 100% seeing this as a settlement. Like they're just gonna be, all right, look here, we'll pay you this much if you just drop the lawsuit or whatever.
That's probably what they'll do.
And I don't know if it's because the Kirby estate's running low on funds or something. Maybe that's what it is.
They want that money. Money.
I don't see this going to be a easy lawsuit for them to win against two giant companies like Disney.
No, it'll definitely be interesting. I mean, I know like not even that long ago, the writer of the first Friday the 13th movie just recently won back the rights to that franchise. So I mean, it is possible. It's not completely impossible now. Like that happened, but
it isn't. But with most cases like this, because there are people that invent things for companies, they usually don't win. It's usually companies that win because when you sign to work with a company, usually there's a disclosure saying whatever work you do, we own it. You don't.
Yeah, that's the thing. It all for me. It all depends on what the original agreement was with Marvel, and I don't know if there's a contract line around somewhere that says like, "Hey, whatever character you make, we own," or whatever. Which I'm sure they probably did.
I'm sure that's the case. Even also, I don't know if it affects much that it's not Jack Kirby who's doing the suing; it's his estate. I don't know if like that has any more merit to it or whatever, but I think Marvel's going to win or Disney's going to win. It's not Marvel.
They probably will. I don't think, and even if they don't, there's like the MCU is going to be fine. Like I know that's the big thing everyone's worried about. The MCU, they're just gonna have to put a little bit more money into these movies, but they're not gonna just be like, oh well, MCU's done.
Imagine they win that lawsuit and they're like, yeah, no one can ever use Spider-Man for anything ever again. They're gonna be like,
never again.
People would riot and burn that place down. Like,
yeah, they would, and that would be a horrible waste of like the rights because it's like Spider-Man makes all the money.
Right. I think it was. I know it's Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and I can't remember. There was a third big character.
There was Iron Man in there too.
It was Iron Man. Okay, yeah, those were the big three.
There was quite a few characters in there because it was Kirby and Ditko, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
both of their estates were like, we want the rights back
because we made the characters or whatever. Sony's going to be fighting hard because if Spider-Man connects with his villains, so anything Spider-Man related goes to wherever the rights go, so they lose.
They're gonna be like assassinating motherfuckers. You know, they're gonna be playing dirty
because they'll be losing Venom and
they will lose their whole fucking studio.
Yeah, basically.
If they don't have Spider-Man, they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, we might as well close down."
Might as well. There's nothing left. So yeah, that's fun. It's fun. We love politics on our podcast. It's great. It's fantastic.
You do.
All right, let's talk about some Black Panther 2 stuff.
Shit. Is there news?
Yeah, we got some Black Panther 2 news. We kind of got what the movie might be about.
Oh shit.
What do you think the movie's about? Before
I honestly don't know.
Like, if you had to like just throw anything out, what would it be?
I mean, it would probably be about maybe like passing the torch of Black Panther, but that's kind of what the first one was about. So I feel like it'd be weird to like just do that again. But I mean, they kind of have to, I guess.
I don't know. So I don't know about there might be a passing the torch thing in it, but they've said that Black Panther 2 is going to be about a war between Wakanda and Atlantis, with Namor being the villain.
I mean, that makes sense because they cast Namor.
Yeah.
And that was always kind of the original idea. That's neat, but it's not going to be fucking T'Challa. So I don't give a shit.
Unless they do the thing where it's like, okay, we need another Black Panther because T'Challa's out leading his country or whatever, so we need another Black Panther.
That's probably what they're going to do, but I want T'Challa.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Shuri as Black Panther. I don't give a fuck about anybody else.
I don't know. I still don't know if they're going to recast or not, though.
I don't think they are. They've said that they're not.
No, they said that they're not doing CG. They didn't say anything about not recasting.
They didn't say they weren't going to recast?
They never said they weren't or were. So,
I mean, I'd be fine with recasting. Like, I know recasting sucks and like nobody really likes it, but honestly, like if they have a really like cool story to tell with T'Challa and it turns out to be a great movie, why not? Like, I understand Chadwick Boseman like made, you know, Black Panther like what it was, and like he has a lot to do with that version of Black Panther being the way it is. But like, you know, these things happen. Like, we can't just not see this character simply because an actor died. Like,
well, I think the Boseman family gave their blessing for it. They're like, if Chadwick knew he wasn't going to be around, he would have said recast me. Like, I think
that's what Chadwick. I think that's what he said. I think like one of his family members said that Chadwick Boseman like said, because he knew he probably wasn't going to make it. He was like, I want this character to live on. Like, this isn't. I don't own the character.
He said, "Don't let the character die with me," something like that.
Yeah, which is what. Yeah, I mean, that's how everything is. I mean, we get recasts all the time and different adaptations of stuff.
We've had recasts within the MCU. I mean,
yeah, we've never had like a main player get recast, but we've had different recasts.
I mean, we had the Hulk. He had his own movie and got recast.
Sure, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
that's the biggest, I would say.
Yeah, that's probably that's like the only big one that we've really had.
Yeah, but we've never had somebody in multiple movies get recast. That was a big character, so
yeah.
I think a recast is definitely a possibility that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I'd be fine with that. I mean,
I feel bad.
There's got to be some other actor that would like. Go ahead.
I said I feel bad for whoever's going to get cast if they do a recast, because no matter what, he's initially going to get bashed. He may eventually like fill the role and people like him, but initially people are going to be like, he's not Chadwick. Like, I don't like him.
That's the only reason why I'm against the recasting is only because that guy will never be Chadwick Boseman. Like that guy will always be the bastard Black Panther. Like,
yeah, they're always gonna be like, he's the guy who's not Chadwick. Like he's that guy.
And he's gonna get an unfair shake simply because he isn't Chadwick Boseman. Even if he's good, like, it doesn't matter. He's no Chadwick.
It'll take at least a couple of years for people to like warm up to him.
Probably, yeah.
But I think I could see somebody, if they're good enough, they could fill the role and do well.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of actors that could do it.
So, same thing if like in the Obi-Wan show, if they recasted Anakin and they didn't use Hayden Christensen, I wouldn't be upset about it. But I know some people would. If he's in
the fucking Darth Vader suit, it wouldn't matter.
That's true, but I'm still betting on there's a flashback, and that's why they brought him back. But I don't know.
Oh, there probably will be. There'll be at least one.
I don't know. We got official runtime for Eternals. Did you hear this?
Oh shit! I heard it's long.
It's actually longer than Infinity War. It's 2
Holy
hours
balls.
and 36 minutes. It's the second longest movie behind Endgame.
I thought Infinity War was like 2 hours and 40 something.
It beat it by like 4 minutes or something.
Oh shit! That's crazy.
It's the second longest movie behind Endgame in the MCU.
I'm fine with that. If it's good, I don't care if it's long.
I think this movie will be a sneaky hit. Like, I think people will be like, "Oh, this movie's ain't nothing," and they're gonna be like, "Holy shit, that was amazing." And
that's kind of what it seems like. It seems like everyone's kind of not really super excited for it, but
and then I think people are gonna see it and just be like, "Holy shit!"
I hope so. I hope it's because it's one of the ones I'm most excited for. I hope it comes out of nowhere and it's just like, "Hey, this is a dope movie."
I think this will be the new big thing in Marvel, like kind of like Guardians. Guardians just kind of exploded on the scene. I think Eternals could do that. It's a possibility.
It could. I don't know if I want Eternals to be like the next Guardians. I kind of want it to be its own like thing.
Not like in terms of like, oh, it's a goofy, silly, whatever. Like it's like it just explodes onto the scene that people like it. Like, people were just like, Guardians.
Oh, like it becomes like a huge cultural thing.
Yeah,
it's possible.
And now everybody's like, yeah, I know who the Guardians are. But back then, people were like, who the fuck's the Guardians?
It's possible. It's definitely possible.
So
it's going to, because it's in the MCU. I mean, 7 years ago, no one knew who the fuck Black Panther was.
That's true.
Like that happens with everything they put out.
They did that with Captain Marvel, but nobody's like, oh yeah, I can't wait for the second Captain Marvel.
Well,
people are saying I can't wait for the next Guardians movie.
Can you really like blame them for not thinking that?
I'm just saying.
That movie came out and it was just like, all right, you made an awesome Nick Fury movie.
That's it. That's all you did.
That's it. You didn't make a Captain Marvel movie. You made a Nick Fury movie.
I still think a Captain Marvel movie could be really good if you did it right. Like
it could just make a Superman movie.
I was gonna say, it's your Superman of the MCU. Like, you could do it.
Yeah, they just didn't.
No. Miss Marvel got pushed to 2022, so we're not getting it. I
saw those two. Good.
It's fine. It's fine.
We're already getting like 10 things this year.
We've already gotten like 10 things this year.
We've gotten half of them. We still have like 3-4 more things left.
Yeah. We mainly got movies left and one show.
Yeah. We got Hawkeye and a couple movies.
And then Eternals and Spider-Man. So, yeah, I am completely fine with that being pushed.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got some stuff on the Echo series. I know you don't care about Echo, but I think you're gonna be. I think you're gonna like this news. Most of the Daredevil cast is returning for Echo.
Most is like Foggy coming back.
They didn't. They didn't specify. They just said most.
Fucking bitches.
I'm gonna guess that means Foggy and Karen, but maybe not like.
So is this gonna be? Is this Echo show basically just gonna be like Daredevil season 4?
I don't know.
It's gonna be mostly about Daredevil.
I hope Bullseye comes back because I love that guy who plays Bullseye.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Those are the only 3 that I care about. That and
I don't want him to show up in Echo and have like Daredevil and Echo team up to fight Bullseye. I want a season 4 of Daredevil. I want Daredevil to fight him.
I don't know. I don't know much about this show besides that Daredevil's going to be in it and Echo's in it. Is it? That's all I know.
I don't
know. My last piece of Marvel news, though, is something that it might make you mad, just because I know how you hate this type of things. But Marvel is currently juggling. How many projects do you think right now?
Too many.
Take a guess. Put a number on it.
The 28.
31 projects currently, all in various stages of development.
This needs to stop. It's not even. I know it probably sounds like that. I'm like, oh, fuck superhero movies and blah, blah. It's not even that, because I like superhero movies. It's just all of this shit. We've had total, I think we're getting 8 MCU properties, like just MCU stuff this year. And that's not even counting the DC stuff we've had. That's not even counting like the Sony stuff. I think we're just getting like 8 MCU things total this year. And then next year, I think it's probably going to be around the same, maybe even more. It's just like, this is going to be like the reason this whole genre and brand just crashes and burns. It's not going to be because people aren't watching the movies. It's going to be just, there's too much. There's too much, and people are going to go, all right, like, it's not even that. It's just going to be like, people are going to go, all right, like, we've seen like 18 Hawkeye things. Like, stop. Like, we just want something. People are going to be urging for something new, and something like a new type of movie might come along, and that might be the new thing. And people are just like, all right, I'm kind of done with super movies. I'm just going to go see this fucking thing now. And like, I think oversaturation is never good in anything. Look at what happened with Star Wars. They tried to oversaturate even just like a little bit, and then it died for like a little bit, and now they're kind of trying to slowly bring that back. Marvel, it has been, they've been putting out movies for a while, and they've been doing well, but it's like, let's go back to phase 1 where we were getting like 1 movie a year. Like, what's wrong with that?
Imagine though juggling more projects than you have in your franchise, because I think they only have
that's insane.
I think they only have 27 or 28.
It took them 10 years to get to 23 movies. It's going to take them going forward. It's going to take them like 3 years to get 20 something movies. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of projects, and I don't know how Kevin Feige doesn't just like want to shoot himself.
I don't know. I'm sure they have a whole team that's dealing with this shit. But like, I don't understand why Marvel feels the need that we got to have 4 movies and then like 18 TV shows come out in the same year. Like, put out 1 movie and 1 show, space them out, have 1 at the beginning of the year, 1 at the end of the year. That should be enough. That should be fine. Like, after Endgame, you should have slowed everything down a little bit and started to kind of branch out and make, a little bit more different things, but focus more on the quality rather than just expanding the MCU. It seems like their primary concern now is just kind of focusing on expanding the MCU and doing more stuff. It doesn't really seem like they care. I'm sure they care somewhat. I'm sure Kevin Feige cares somewhat about making a good thing, but it seems like they're more concerned with just, hey, let's just put out more stuff. And it's like, that's never the answer. Focus. I'd rather have 1 really kick-ass MCU movie and 1 really kick-ass MCU show a year than 8. Like,
I don't know. We will see if oversaturation is as bad as we think it is. Because I think 31 is a little obnoxious, and I'm a big MCU fan, and I think it's a little obnoxious. It's a little too much.
It is too much.
So,
It's just like if MCU fans really gave a shit about the MCU, they'd be totally fine with just one movie, one show a year. They'd be totally fine with that. I think there's this big, not disconnect, but like miscommunication between Marvel Studios and the fans. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe the fans just want all this shit all the time. They want 80 movies a year. I don't know. But like, I think maybe Marvel just thinks, oh, they just want as much stuff as possible. And it's like, for someone like me who watches superhero movies and other stuff, it's like, I don't have enough time to watch 18,000 superhero movies a year and all these other movies that I want to watch as well. Like, I want less so that I can enjoy other things as well while still enjoying these superhero movies and not feel burnt out.
Well, hey, they'll always be there whenever you get your hankering.
They will, but at that point, by the time I get around to watching Black Widow 2, there will be 8 Shang-Chi movies. And then it's like, well, fuck, now I got to binge all the 8 Shang-Chi movies. And then by the time I do all that, then there will be 3 more Captain America movies. Like, it's just going to keep coming out and happening. So it's like, just slow down, put out maybe like 1 or 2 things a year, and that's fine.
We will see, because if the oversaturation does become a thing, maybe we'll go back to that. I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know.
Because that's what DC's doing right now. They're putting out like 2 movies a year.
Well, they're scared to put some stuff out because they've had so much backlash.
There's a lot of stuff where they're like, can we put this out here, please? Like, are you guys gonna want to see it? Can we drop this here?
So they're doing it for different reasons.
Sure, but like I think that's a good format for them. They're putting them out. They're spacing them out enough. And then the shows, they're putting out a lot of shows, but not everyone's watching all the shows, and they're not all canon too. So it's like you can kind of just watch them.
They're not all
whenever.
Connected.
Yeah, so it's like you can kind of just watch whatever, whenever. And I think it's a better kind of format that I hope the MCU adopts at some point, where it's just like, here's a couple movies and then a bunch of random shows that you can watch whenever.
But that's all my Marvel news. So if you got anything else I missed,
I got some. We got Eternals got an R rating in Russia.
Yeah, that doesn't mean squat, because
it doesn't. I've seen people freak out about this. They're like, "What does that mean?" Whoa, and it's like, no, Russia's just a pussy when it comes to movies.
Well, I think it's actually because there's gay scenes in it, and apparently in Russia that's like sinful, so they made it rated R.
It's one of those fucking things. All right.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but everybody's fucking talking about it.
No, it doesn't mean squat. Now, if it's an R rating in the US, I'll be like, all right, look, let's
fucking hell down a second. Let's fucking go. All right, somebody get cut in half. Like, all right.
We've seen some guts getting thrown out of somebody's body.
Yeah. I'm all for, if Marvel announces tomorrow that like, hey, Blade's gonna be rated R and you're gonna see fucking guts and shit coming out of people, I'm there day one.
Day one, boy. You're there day one for Blade anyways.
I probably will, just because I'm curious on what that movie is. I like Blade.
Yeah.
But if it's R-rated, I'm gonna camp out.
You're gonna be the only one ever to camp out, but you're camping out.
I'm gonna camp out and be like, "Yo, I'm here. 2 tickets for Blade, please." We also got the director of Thor 2 said he wants a Snyder Cut treatment for Thor 2.
Yeah, I heard about this too, and I'm just like, why? It won't make it better. I guarantee it won't make it better. Thor 2
it might make it better, but the real question is, do I care?
It won't be good. It might be better than what we got, but still won't be good. That whole story is not good enough to be any good movie, and there's no way you can recut it to make it good.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the stuff is kind of what everyone was saying about the Snyder Cut.
No, because like, that's a different.
Better, but it doesn't mean it's gonna be good.
No, the Snyder Cut's different because it's 2 different people. This is the same person with the same movie.
That's fair.
Like, I understand the Snyder Cut because it's like, okay, it's 2 different visions. It's one person's vision and another person, but this is the same person, the same vision.
Yeah,
just cut differently.
I'd honestly prefer a Snyder Cut treatment for Age of Ultron, because I know Joss Whedon had like a 4-hour something cut of Age of Ultron, and I'd be more interested in that than fucking Thor.
Because Ultron's interesting. Malekith or whatever his name is not interesting in Thor 2.
Fucking dark elves.
Yeah, it's not interesting. That's why it cannot be that much better than what we got, because that is not interesting, no matter how you spin it. to cut that movie unless you go and reshoot stuff. It cannot be good. I don't think.
Do that. I'll be fine with that. Make a good movie. Just remake Thor 2 and make it good.
Yeah, they acted like it wasn't canon for so long. Then Endgame, they're like, yeah, it's canon. Like,
I don't know if they didn't. It wasn't that they didn't. They pretended it wasn't canon. They just didn't really acknowledge it.
Yeah, there's
like, this, but nobody likes it. Fuck it.
Yeah. Same thing with Incredible Hulk, though. They're finally talking about Incredible Hulk again, and they're like, yeah, we got to wait a decade after a bad movie to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe there might be something to that. They make a bad movie, then Kevin Feige's like, just don't talk about it, and then we'll bring it up in like a decade.
We'll bring it back in a decade when everybody's forgotten about it. And they're like, oh yeah, that movie wasn't that bad.
Incredible Hulk still sucks.
It does. They talk about it in What If, though. They have a scene in What If from Incredible Hulk. So
they do, and that fucking sucked too.
Yeah, because they blew up the Hulk. It was weird.
Yeah, he looked like a big dumb marshmallow. Speaking of big dumb marshmallows, Denis Villeneuve, or however the fuck you pronounce it, the director of Dune, came out and he was like saying some shit about Marvel, and everybody like attacked him.
I was gonna say, I'm sure he's getting backlash for that.
Yeah, and it's like, if you listen to what the fuck he said, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a negative thing. Well, maybe, but it wasn't like the worst thing in the world.
What did he
didn't
say?
Like Scorsese it, where he's like, "Oh, they're not movies." he just said like, he came out and he just said that a lot of these superhero movies, I don't even think he said Marvel. I think he just said like comic book superhero movies are copy and paste of each other. Like they just kind of keep the same formula going. That's all he said.
I mean, and
for the most part, it's kind of true.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in fairness, is mostly true. Like,
yeah, and everyone was like, "How dare he talk about art like that?" And it's like, y'all seriously need to fucking chill.
You can't talk bad about Marvel, man. It's not the thing. You can talk bad about Star Wars, but you can't.
You can talk bad about DC till the day is long, but you say anything even remotely negative. You could say Kevin Feige has a weird face, and everyone's just like, "What?"
You can't talk bad about the man Kevin Feige.
How dare you talk about God like that? All right,
our savior, Kevin. You can't talk about him like that.
That's sacrilegious. All right. Everybody just needs to fucking stop.
Dude, I'm excited for Dune, though. I know it's off topic, but I'm excited for Dune.
Is going to be amazing.
It looks good. It looks real good.
But everyone's review bombing it.
I saw the trailer because of the Marvel thing.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Like, that's stupid. That's petty. But how are they review bombing, though?
Because it got like an early screening, and so I think the Rotten Tomatoes thing went up already because people have seen it.
Because they did that with Captain Marvel, and then Rotten Tomatoes was like, "Look, all right, we're not going to let people review until the movie's out." So I was wondering how they were review bombing.
I don't know if it's Rotten Tomatoes, but they're review bombing it on sites and stuff that I have seen. And then
I know Rotten Tomatoes is like that. I don't know about others.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes kind of cracked down on that, which is good.
They need to get rid of bots. That's what they need to do. They have bot detection because that's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, I'm sure they're trying to figure out some kind of way to get rid of that because that's a big problem too.
But yeah, Dune looks real good. I saw that trailer before Venom. It looked.
I'm honestly like the fact that you're excited to see Dune makes me really excited.
Why?
Because that doesn't seem like a movie you'd be into.
It is. It looks cool. It's got a good. It's got a big.
Like a movie you'd see the trailer and go, this looks boring.
It looks cool. It's got a cool cast. Like
yeah, it looks cool as fuck. I watched the first Dune movie before I see this Dune though. I gotta find time to just sit down.
I'm not going to. I'm just going into this. I'm going into this not knowing anything.
No, you honestly should. I just want to see it because David Lynch made it, and David Lynch is a fucking lunatic.
If I like this Dune, maybe I'll go back and watch the other one. But I'm gonna go into this.
No, definitely. You should. I think that'll be an interesting when we talk about it, when we do a video about it. I think that'll give us like an interesting perspective where it's like you just watch that Dune, and then I'll have two of them.
Yeah.
And kind of say which one's better, even though I've heard their first one's bad.
I weirdly laugh. You're like, the first one was amazing. This one was awful.
First one was awesome. The second one's woke as shit, and it sucked. Fuck it.
Garbage. Jason Momoa. I don't know. Garbage.
Denis Villeneuve. He is kind of a very hit or miss filmmaker for me. Like he's made the 3 or 4 movies of his that I've loved are like fucking like they're kick-ass fucking movies. Like they're all masterpieces. But then he's made like 3 movies that I thought were utter garbage. So it's kind of like this. Dune could be like either or.
Could be either one.
I think it's gonna be more good than it is bad, but it could be either or.
I don't know. Actually, Derek said it looked cool, and I was surprised by that.
Fucking hey, man, that's awesome. I'm so glad.
Because when we left,
now that means that like modern moviegoers are gonna look at that and go, "This looks fucking cool. I want to go see that."
Because when we left Venom, he was like, "Dude, that Dune movie, I kind of want to go see that."
Hey,
I'm like,
is it the same trailer, or did they put out a new trailer?
I don't know. That's the only trailer I've seen. I didn't watch the first one. I don't think so.
Is it okay?
I know it mainly shows the cast in the trailer that I saw. It's like, oh, here's Oscar Isaac, here's Jason Momoa, here's Zendaya, here's whoever else is in there. So it looks neat though. I'm excited.
It looks awesome.
The effects look good. I'm excited.
I can't wait to see giant worms on a big island.
Yeah, that was the end of the trailer. Is the giant worm thing. So
yeah.
Any other Marvel news? I know we went a little off track.
There's a possible Nebula show coming. I don't really give a shit.
A Nebula show? So, I don't want or need that.
Yeah. But that's it's a rumor right now that it might happen. I don't fucking know.
I hope that rumor is not true. Because we don't need it.
I hope it isn't, but it probably is because they're putting out 18,000 shows.
We already got Nebula kind of by herself within an Endgame, so we don't need another thing without.
But we need more stuff, Devin.
No, not Nebula stuff.
Who else are we gonna make a show about? Rocket Raccoon?
No, you can do Nova. You do a Nova show.
Fuck. The fact that Marvel hasn't done Nova yet upsets me.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're going to eventually.
Come on, man. Nova's so fucking cool. They're gonna do Nova, but they're gonna do the Sam Alexander Nova. They're gonna do the fucking Nova that nobody likes.
And you're gonna write a strongly worded letter to Kevin Feige.
I'm gonna write a strongly worded tweet to Kevin Feige.
Like you ruined it.
You fucking bastard.
You're gonna quote Jurassic Park and just be like, "You patented it.
You patented it. Now you're selling. You're selling." Did that with the whole MCU. I won't even say anything. I'll just gift that and just send it to Kevin.
And then do it. Just do hashtag Nova with it.
Hashtag Nova. You fucked it up.
And he'll be so impressed. He'll be like, "I'm hiring this guy."
If that happens, Kevin Feige made a massive mistake. Because I will not make an MCU movie unless I can make whatever the fuck I want, and whatever the fuck I want is gonna be some weird shit.
What if he's like, "You can make Blade, and that's it"?
That's gonna be a fucking weird Blade movie.
He's like, "But you got to make it our way. Can't make it your way."
No, fuck you. My Blade movie will make kids and adults cry.
He's like, "Well, yeah, we don't want that."
Well, then fuck you.
And then you're like, "Set me up with the guy who owns Spawn, then, because I know he'll let me do it."
Yeah, do you know Todd McFarlane? I want to make a Spawn movie, please.
Is that all your Marvel news?
That's all the Marvel news.
All right, let's get into some DC stuff.
DC news.
I got a lot of Batman stuff. If that
doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of Batman news.
A lot of Batman stuff. So, let's just talk about the Batman, the movie.
The Batman.
Warner Brothers is apparently backtracking whatever that leak was that was last time when we talked about, where they're like, "Oh, Batman, we don't know about the Batman. It might be bad or whatever." They're backtracking on that statement. They're like, "No, we're really happy with the Batman. It looks really good."
What?
Yeah.
Make up your fucking mind, WB. Is it good or is it bad?
Well, it leaked that they didn't come out and say it. It leaked that Warner Brothers wasn't.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like a rumor thing where it was like, "Oh, Warner Brothers hates the Batman" or whatever.
But then Warner Brothers came out and was like, "No, we think it's really good." So I'm like, I don't believe you.
Goddamn minds.
If you thought that, you wouldn't have said anything. You would have just let it happen, let it come out. I think. So I don't know. Maybe the Batman is terrible. I don't
know. I hope it's fucking cool because it looks cool.
It looks cool, but the thing that also, this is other news that I have. They already greenlit Batman 2. So like.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Wait until this movie comes out and see how this movie does.
They greenlit Batman 2 and they greenlit a Riddler spinoff with the guy.
Speaking of, there's a Penguin spinoff.
And there's a Penguin
coming
spinoff,
from it.
Yes.
There's the Gotham PD spinoff that was already like coming out before they even fucking shot anything for this goddamn movie. They're doing all these weird spinoffs before these movies even come out. Like, wait and see how the movies do before you just start investing in all these fucking spinoff shows.
People
might
may
not even give a shit.
people may hate that version of the Riddler. Like, you don't know. People may hate that version of Penguin. You don't know.
They might hate the whole fucking universe.
Yeah, the movie might be awful.
Look what happened with Snyder, right? They put all their eggs in one basket and people went, no. And then they were like, what do we do? They're doing that again.
Reboot the universe.
Yeah, reboot it, but kind of don't. Like, they're doing that again. It's like, fucking stop.
Stop. Warner
Make
Brothers. Learn your lesson.
See how it does, and then continue on.
Learn your lesson, Warner Brothers. God. Speaking of more Batman stuff, but it's not the Batman, it's just Batman related. So Christian Bale actually might be in Flash.
Everyone keeps saying this. I don't think he is.
He is rumored to have a cameo similar to Hugh Jackman's in First Class, so he might be in it.
I highly doubt he's in this.
I don't know what that cameo would be. Like, would they just be like, "Oh, look, there's that guy"? And
I don't know. I feel like it's weird if this somehow just becomes a Batman universe movie because we already have 2 Batmen in it.
Yeah,
Keaton is enough. I think if like we can have fucking Val Kilmer in this too, like,
and Clooney,
just every Batman like just ever gonna be in it. Like, you can have Adam West in it because he's dead, but like I don't want this to end up being a Batman movie.
Even though George Clooney is Keaton's Batman, right?
Sort of. They could retcon it and say it's a different like timeline thing. It's a multiverse. They can do whatever.
It's a multiverse. Speaking of which, though, Flash 2 also has some other people in the movie, maybe. Gal Gadot and Henry Lennox's stunt double were rumored to be on set for Flash 2.
Shit.
So
I've heard that they might be doing some Justice League shit. Not the whole movie, but like early on they might have like a Justice League like team up thing and they gotta go like stop some shit. Which that could be cool. I'd be totally fine with that.
Might get to see some more Martian Manhunter. Maybe.
Fuck. Hopefully they redesign him.
I don't know.
Don't make him look like a fucking salad.
It's weird though that they're going with Snyder's Henry Lennox as Martian Manhunter if they're trying to get away from Snyder.
I mean, the director of The Flash said he loved the Snyder cut, so he's a Snyder fan. So
it doesn't mean maybe
that's just his. I mean, yeah. I mean, that whole universe is weird. Are we in the Snyderverse or are we not? Like,
I don't know.
They need to make up their goddamn minds.
Wade's just like, just tell me which one it is.
Just tell me. Like, I don't understand why it's such a big deal that they're like, if they tell us or not. Just say, hey, we're still in the Snyderverse. I think that will shut everyone up if you just say that.
Because they don't want to make other people upset that don't like the Snyderverse. That's what it is.
Okay, fuck those people.
But then they don't want to
say it's in the Snyderverse, and if it's not, say it's not.
They don't want to make you upset by saying it's not in the Snyderverse.
I'm already upset. I'm upset for a lot of reasons.
Wade's like, I'm going to be upset whatever one they say it is. So
I'm always going to be upset because we're never going to see Justice League 2 and 3. So whatever.
To me, it doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit. Just tell us.
And continuing off of Warner Brothers doing stupid shit, they greenlit Flash 2 already. And
why? Is it Ezra Miller?
I don't know. They just greenlit Flash 2, but they didn't say if it's Ezra Miller.
What the fuck are you going to do in a second Flash movie? We're already breaking timelines and shit.
Well, if they recast Ezra Miller, like they might. Like
if it's an alternate like Flash, sure. But if it's Ezra Miller again, you're already doing the big multiverse thing in the first film.
Yeah, you blew your load in the first one. You can't.
Spider-Man it took 3 fucking Spider-Man movies to get to that point.
Right. You can't just go back and be like, all right, we're just going to do Reverse Flash.
You can't just go, oh, hey, Flash, Captain Cold is like robbing a bank. You got to go stop him. It's like, what? Fuck you. I got to go dimension traveling.
I can run back in time.
Like, yeah, I can run back in time to before he was born and break his little baby body. Like, fuck you. I'm the Flash.
Yeah, it'd be really strange. Why are they greenlighting this again? What if Flash is an utter mess and people don't like it? Like,
I don't know. Again, this is the thing. Wait,
Warner Brothers.
Wait
and listen. I don't think they listen. That's their issue. They don't listen to anybody. They just They hear like one critic, and they're like, he knows everything. We got to listen to that guy.
They hear one. They have like one fan that they listen to on the internet, and he goes, "Oh shit, Michael Keaton's gonna be in it. This movie's gonna be dope." And they're like, "We got to make 15 of these."
We're gonna make 15 of these. And he hated Batman vs Superman. He's like, we cannot do any of that.
We can't. We gotta have Ben Affleck in this, but very little.
No, not a lot.
Have one scene, and then we'll kill him, and we'll replace him with Old Man Keaton. That's weird to me that they're doing that. The problem they had with Affleck was that he was too old. So now they're getting even older Batman.
Yeah, they're getting even older.
He was like twice his age. So I was like, what the fuck? Make up your fucking minds.
Well, if that fan does hate Ben Affleck, maybe he's turned sides because Ben Affleck's final movie might not be The Flash.
I've heard this too. There's rumors because I know DC Fandom is I think it's going to start next week, and there's people saying that like, oh, maybe like there's rumors going around that Ben Affleck's going to get like an HBO series or something.
Well, he was seen on set for another DC project, but they couldn't see which DC project.
Oh yeah, everyone's theorizing that he's going to be in Batgirl because they're both shooting in the same locations. Batgirl and the Flash are in the same thing, but he already filmed his scenes for the Flash, and he's not in that location anymore. So I don't know if that's true.
He filmed his scenes for in a week. He said for the Flash.
Yeah, because he's got a very small part.
Yeah, he's not in it very big. But
I don't know
if they're bringing, if they're doing more. Yeah, if they're doing more Batfleck, go for it.
I would love like a miniseries with his Batman. That'd be awesome.
Would be. Just do the warehouse scene. It's all the time.
Just do what Ben Affleck wanted to do because his Batman script sounded fucking phenomenal.
He was just tired of people being like, "Look, stop talking about Batman." Like
he was tired of people only caring about Batman and nothing else.
yeah.
Even though, but when he leaves the role, everyone's still just like, "Hey, are you gonna
come back as Batman?" He's like, "God, dang,
like, I could never leave this."
It's probably what happened. He's like, "Look, they're gonna continue to ask me, so might as well just be Batman." Like,
they're gonna add. I might as well. Fuck it. Hey, I would do the same thing. I might as well just be Batman forever. Fuck it.
Might as well. They're gonna continue. Like they still ask Keaton about Batman stuff, and he's like, he hasn't been Batman.
They asked Keaton about Batman stuff back in like 2016, before any of this. Like even like, oh, is he coming back? They're like, hey, would you ever think about coming back as Batman? He's like, I don't fucking know.
They did it during the Homecoming press because he was in Homecoming.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm Batman still.
Yeah, he loves it. He's like, yeah, I'm Batman.
Yeah. He's grown to love it. He didn't like it when he was Batman. That's kind of how everyone kind of is with Batman, because that's how Adam West was too, where he was like, I fucking hate Batman. Like when he was Batman, because he couldn't get any other work. But then when he like as he got older, he was like, no, I'm fucking Batman. Like, come on.
Did Christian Bale hate Batman? I don't remember.
Christian Bale, I don't know if he hated it. I just think he kind of wanted to, like, that's why he only wanted to do like 3 movies and then like step away from it. I don't think he wanted it to like consume his life, but I don't know if he hated it per se, but he definitely wasn't like gung-ho about it.
At home in the mirror, he's like, God, I hate Batman.
I fucking hate Batman. I gotta find a way to get out of this fucking franchise. I think he looked at them like he looks at any other role. He's just like, I'm Batman, cool, all right.
In the third one, he's like, you gotta kill me. Like you can't leave. Can't leave it. You
gotta kill me, but kind of not.
No, he's like, you gotta kill me. And then he saw the movie and he walked out after they killed him. He's like, yes. And then he didn't see the end.
Yes. He didn't see the end. He's like, fuck.
And then in interviews afterwards, the people are like, oh, so you're gonna come back, right? And he's like, no, I'm dead.
He's like, what in the bloody hell are you talking about?
It's like the end.
What
you were still alive.
What the fuck are you doing?
He does that weird laugh that he does in that serial killer movie.
Oh, American Psycho.
Yeah, American Psycho.
That's just him.
I want that as gore in Thor 4. That's what I want. Just that.
Oh, fuck. Christian Bale running naked down a hallway with a chainsaw. Covered in blood.
Yeah, and chasing Thor down the hallway.
Fucking hell, man. American Psycho is such a good fucking movie.
Yeah. I got one more DC thing, and I left it for last just for you.
What is it?
It's Joker 2 stuff.
No.
And I'm kind of weirdly like, I don't know what to think about this news, honestly, because it's kind of weird. Because
what is the news? Is it like official?
it's that Scorsese's going to produce Joker 2.
Oh, he was going to produce the first Joker, and he dropped out simply because it was a fucking Joker movie. Like, he said that.
But like, he's apparently
coming back. If he's going to produce this one, like I don't believe that.
It's been talked about that he's going to. Like, it's weird.
I don't believe that. I think that everyone's just saying that because he literally said he dropped out of it because it was he didn't want to be a part of something that was like an adaptation of something else.
I don't know. Maybe he saw the first one. All right, this ain't bad. I'll do the second one.
He might have. I think he said he did see it.
That seems like a movie he would watch.
I think he said he did see it, and he was like, "It's all right."
It's not what I would have done, but
because people were asking him about it. Because I remember I saw an interview where someone was like, "Hey, the Joker's like paying homage to a lot of your movies. Have you seen it?" And he's like, "Yeah, I saw it. It was all right."
It's all right.
It was all right.
I'm sure people were like, "What?
How dare you, sir? How dare you think the movie's just fine?"
Well, isn't it the thing now to hate that movie? Like, isn't that the thing?
Yeah, the internet has kind of that happens a lot with movies where it's now it's cool. Oh, the Joker's just, hey, have you ever seen Taxi Driver? Oh, that's just Joker, and it's like Joker's nothing like Taxi Driver. If you fucks have actually sat down and watched Taxi Driver, it's not anything. It's not Joker and Taxi Driver have two completely different meanings behind them.
They're similar. I didn't think it was anything like Taxi Driver. I was just like, no, this is Joker.
Similar. Like there's definitely like Taxi Driver and King of Comedy are definitely what inspired Joker, and there's similar things in them. Neither of those movies are anything like Joker. Joker's about like the lack of mental health, or the lack of people getting the proper mental health in society. Taxi Driver, sure, it does talk about mental health, but that's not what the movie's about. The movie's not about like society, like not taking in people who need mental health and abandoning them. That's not what that movie's about. And King of Comedy is not about that at all. So like, I don't know what the fuck people are talking about when they say that.
I don't know either. Don't understand.
Yeah, they got to find something to hate about it because it's a fucking comic book movie. So they got to hate it.
It's because it's Joker, man. Joker's not cool anymore.
But if it wasn't a Joker movie, nobody on the face of the planet would have seen that fucking movie.
No one would have probably liked it either.
No, they wouldn't have.
In the first place, even though they don't like it now.
It would have been one of those movies that like comes out and then people go, "Oh, it's good," and then they never think about it again.
I still haven't seen it since theaters. So
I've seen it once in theaters. I still really love it.
I'm sure it's still fantastic. I just haven't seen it since theaters.
I think it's great. But I want it to be left the fuck alone. I don't want another one.
I am sure that they're going to do another one.
And if they do another one, they need to do the anthology thing. But they're not going to do that. They're gonna try their fucking hardest to get Joaquin Phoenix back, and just continue that story.
I think the anthology thing would be the best way to do it and have it still be in the same universe and not be able. Because I know they're not going to be able to bring back Joaquin Phoenix. There's no way.
Well, I mean, that's the only thing you can do with a character like the Joker, because the Joker's whole thing is that his backstory is bullshit. So it's like, how do you, and especially what we saw in the first Joker, how do you then continue that? Where it's like, we don't know what actually happened and what happened. And like, his whole thing is that you don't know what's real and what's not. That's his whole thing. So I think it would be beneficial to the movie. I think it would actually benefit the movie in a lot of ways, the sequel, if it was a different thing, different cast, different, like maybe even a different universe or a different time period or whatever, and then just call it Joker subtitle something. And it's like, is this the same guy? Is this a different guy? Is it like that needs to kind of be in play? Like, I think that would definitely benefit. If it's just the same, if it's just Arthur Fleck back again, that's going to take out all the mystery and the mystique of Joker.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. So I saw my DC news though. So if you got anything else?
That's pretty much all the DC news I had. There wasn't really a whole lot.
Well, I mean, there's not much to talk about besides Flash and Batman because that's all they got coming out recently.
Yeah, and they're keeping everything. We'll probably have a lot more next episode because DC Fandom is coming soon, and they'll probably drop all their shit there.
And we'll be talking about The Thing. I'm gonna watch it soon. Hopefully,
we're talking about The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Because The Thing is fantastic.
I've seen that scene where that guy gets his like arms bit off by that tummy.
Dude, that's not even like the weirdest thing in that movie.
I've seen the head crawling across the floor.
You're in for a fucking great time. You should watch it. Has your dad seen it? You should watch it with your dad. I feel like he would.
I don't know if he's seen it. I'll ask him if he has. If he hasn't, we'll watch it together.
I feel like he would love it.
I'll ask him later today if he's seen it.
Because it's fucking rad.
Let's see. Do I have a fun fact of the day for you?
I don't know. Do you?
I'm trying to think. Of a fun fact. Wait, how long does it take the Earth to revolve around once? Not revolve, rotate around once. How long does it take?
24 hours.
You're wrong.
Fuck you. That's right.
It's 23 hours and 56 minutes.
All right. Eat shit. Round up. It's 24 hours. But
it does take closer to 24 hours to rotate. Rotating stationary, it takes from one point to get to the exact same point again. It takes 23 hours and 56 minutes. But we don't base our rotation off of that, right? Correct. We base our rotation on.
I don't know. You're the science guy. I don't know what you're asking me.
We base our rotation on the placement of the sun in the sky. So as we rotate, we also are orbiting around the sun, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when we move a little bit, we actually need to rotate a little bit more to get exactly where the sun was in the sky back to that position. So it is closer to 24 hours. But with that, the moon is tugging on us the opposite way. So we're actually slowing down in our rotation ever so slowly.
So it's 25 hours technically.
Eventually it will be. They say like when the dinosaurs were around, it was around 23 hours. So it's slowly getting slower. And we add a leap second every couple of years.
What the hell is a leap second?
Basically it slows down. There slows down enough that we need to add an extra second to keep up with the time. Otherwise, yeah. So about every 2 years they put a leap second in at the very last day of the year. So the very last minute of the year on leap second years are 61 seconds instead of 60 seconds.
That's bullshit.
So do you know how we measure a second?
You just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
But no, you got to be precise. Scientists need to know exactly how long a second.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
It's not Mississippi. That's not how we define a second.
How do you fucking define a second?
So there's an atom. I think it's cesium. It's a cesium atom, and it's very stable in terms of it doesn't decay very much, right? And it has an electron that bounces back and forth in the atom. And that when that electron bounces back and forth like 200 million times or something, I don't know the exact number, it's exactly 1 second. And so that's what atomic clocks use. They measure how many times that electron's bouncing back and forth. And every time it does the number 230 million or whatever it is, 1 second has passed. And that's why atomic clocks are so accurate, because they're exactly 1 second every time.
Why don't we just use our fingers? It seems a lot easier.
Your fingers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because if you're trying to scientifically measure something that's only like 2 seconds long, you can't just say 1, 2 because everybody says 1, 2 at different paces.
We need a set pace. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Again, everybody uses different paces. Your Mississippi
we need to get one universal.
Slightly longer.
Here's how long you say it, and then that's how we count going forward.
That's no. we use the atom because it doesn't change. The electron bounces back and forth at the same rate.
Far more complicated.
It is complicated.
Saying, hey, do 1 banana, 2 banana.
Well, technically, they used to measure a kilogram as a block. In like the UK, there was a block that weighed exactly 1 kilogram, and that was the definition of a kilogram for years. And then they finally figured out that it's slowly chipping away, so a kilogram was actually getting lighter throughout the years. So they changed it. It's no longer defined as a block of whatever it was, steel or whatever. I don't know what it's measured as now, but it's not that.
I don't know. I didn't know any of that.
And like a meter is defined as how fast or how long it takes light to travel in like 1 second or something is a meter or something like that. I don't remember.
This is all fascinating, but it all kind of sounds made up.
It's not made up. That's just scientifically how we measure things.
Science is fake.
Science is fake. Are you Tom Cruise?
No, isn't Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise believes science, right? He's a Scientologist.
He's a Scientologist.
They're not anti-science.
I know, but that just sounds like something Tom Cruise would say.
Hey, the moon's fake.